enjoy watching the games today. I can't wait to see you play tomorrow in the grand. Can't wait as well. Can as well. Thank you so much, Vico. But for now, we'll go back to the desk. Hi, guys.
50 tag for the Kinshasa. It's a crazy line. Shout out to the Big Vigo. Thank you so much. Again, we kind of got to do this yesterday with Benno, right? Always love hearing from the players, kind of seeing and understanding what they are seeing helps us and kind of get in the mindset, right? So cool. He did kind of call out, though, there, Clicks and Higgs, right? A team we saw drop into the lower bracket. I think it maybe a little unexpectedly, right? We had these practice games. We see Clicks is like, I'm going to go check out Wonky. Starts kind of beating Shartini off spawn. Game 1, Viv, you know, it's this super long, drawn-out fight. We're thinking, like, how's it going to go? Then it just very quickly went downhill.
Yeah, now it's time to start having some rough conversations about some of our teams that we're going to be seeing here today, right? Those that did not successfully get top 25 Clicks and Higgs, of course, being one of them. I won't lie, though. I felt kind of good. Maybe it's a little bit of hopium for myself here, but in game number 1, yeah, we saw that they did pick up that 15th place. When they were going for 15, they stuck to their strategy that we saw in Major 1, right? Where they liked going for high ground. So they still kind of confident in an environment like this to go for high ground. But I also think that they showed their ability to go ahead and switch it up over at Wonky. They started to leave in the later half of the day, try to look for new strategies out of the POI.
You NA guys know how to talk good, you know, because
what do you mean?
You're saying it like, yeah, they figured out a new strategy, you know, they got bossed off sport. That's what happened, and hopefully it doesn't happen again here against King and Phaser.
Oh, yeah, that's a tough duo for sure to go up against, but we'll have to see. I know right now we're preparing an interview with Higgs, so we'll have to see if maybe his mentals are all ready to go. Frankie, why don't we find out?
Yeah, I'll ask him straight away for you, Zeke. How are your mentals, Higgs?
Great. They're absolutely great. You know, yesterday does not matter at all.
It shouldn't matter. Have you recovered from being pickaxed by Shark?
We really doing this? Are we serious? Okay, that didn't even happen. That was a nightmare last night, all right? This is day 1. You know, there was never even 2 days. This is the first day.
This is the first day. This is the day that counts, because if you don't get through today, you do go home. Have you had a word with Clicks about maybe getting too focused on rivalries instead of the trophy?
You know, a little bit, but rivalries, they don't matter. You know, the only thing that matters is winning.
How are you going to win that Osborne, though, against King and Phaser today?
Eliminate them both instantly.
Every time you're going to fight?
Yes.
Okay, I am slightly concerned for you. Come on, 2023, we saw Clicks go out of the lower bracket. Hopefully it doesn't happen to you today. Let's head back to the desk. Will not!
Guys, I can't lie, I'm a little nervous. That's not the Higgs I'm used to seeing. I feel like the mentals may be a little in shambles, but look, this is Clicks and Higgs, okay? It's fine. We just need to have one really good game and everything will be okay.
Sounds like they still feel good about fighting, right? So they're going to be fighting every single game.
Yeah, I mean, these stats on our screen right now are not encouraging for me. Chino and Pablo didn't have the best day. The second place team in the EU finals. Just want to point out that also, you know, Ages and Rich were the second place team on NA, also had a rough day.
Hello.
The second place curse going on here. I don't know what's going on in EU and NA, but for these two, what I was hoping, Vivid, was that even if things did go bad off spawn with, you know, Canada and Victor V there, Mini Boyo and Frug on there, I thought maybe if these guys drop into lowers,
la miniature, je l'ai vraiment faite à l'arrache là ici.
so they could just go right back up into the final. Contested again by 2 teams again at Sandy Strip, and another NA West team has snuck their way on into the POI in Salco and Minute, and so I'm at the point where I love those guys. That's one of my favorite duos in that world, but I just don't know what to expect going into today.
Well, Lev, we gotta move because
Là,
we
je
got
crois que je vais
Frankie standing
reload le
by with
truc parce
Polishino
que
right now.
en latence, j'en ai en tabarouette. Fait que juste question d'en avoir moins. Ben oui, c'est sûr, je vais me taper une pub.
Aujourd'hui, je vous présente un mot qui se répand dans l'usage comme une graine de pissenlit portée par le vent.
Chino Pablo.
Tout a commencé
De quoi
le jour
Chino
où
Pablo?
l'enseignante de 2e secondaire s'est
Tout en interview.
avec une coiffure
Ah ouais.
And the Osborne situation was like very
Ah ouais.
complicated, so
Well, it's going to be complicated again.
Par contre, le maillot d'Ava qui est insane.
Contested
Ouais.
once more.
Want a twist on breakfast? Try the new DQ Breakfast Collection, like new Cinnamon Toast Crunch Dip Cone, new Fruity Pebble Shake, and the new Choco Frosted Donut Blizzard Treat. The new Breakfast Collection, here for any time of day,
On va pas
but
le
not
micro.
for long.
Hein?
Je dis m'en battre pour le micro. Je te parlais pas.
Amazing. Well, guys, I hope you're able to find those strengths today. We know that you can do it. Let's head back to the desk.
I don't know if you saw in the background there to the right. Pixie was there chilling, you know, a duo I would not have expected to be in the situation they're in. Obviously, some external factors playing into it possibly, but Swizzy and Pixie is the next duo we wanted to highlight.
Yeah, I have two big bits of information here that I
Pixie.
Squeezy en arrière, c'est drôle.
Bad news. Which one do you want first?
I like good news.
All right, let's start with the good news. Swizzy should be on a full night's rest. We know yesterday, unfortunately, had to fly in early, and so he should have gotten a little bit more sleep. Maybe going to be playing a little bit better today. Ready for the bad news?
No, but hit me.
They're contested.
No.
Why?
Not again. Not again. I mean, look, if you've been paying attention to this duo this year, the overarching narrative has been it's not been.
Sais-tu pourquoi Squeezy et Pixie ont pas perdu?
Oh.
Ben, Squeezy était sur Nuit Blanche.
Ah.
Parce que lui, il a eu son visa genre à la dernière minute. Qui est arrivé genre. Il a pris son vol. Genre la nuit, genre il a pas dormi, fait qu'il était sur Nuit Blanche. Là, il faisait la compète le jour même.
Fait que gros, il était genre un peu fatigué.
Un peu, juste un peu.
Un peu beaucoup.
Il dormait sur le PC, that's it.
Il était juste fucking fatigué.
Attends, mais là, c'est qui?
Swizzy, how was it when you found out you were finally going to make it?
J'ai hâte de voir les duos. Ils sont pas quoi.
Gros, la vie avec Squeezy a l'air fucking nain contrairement à Pixie.
Ouais.
Genre ça, je pense qu'on en parle pas assez.
Oh, Squeezy Pixie. Ok, tout est en avance sur moi.
I don't know.
Ça, je vais aller voir.
Pixie.
Ah. T'es-tu en live?
But this
Yes.
has kind of
Ouais.
set you back a bit, guys, because you have missed out on practice time.
that's sweet.
Do you feel like day one was a practice day for you?
No, it just
Dis-moi pas une pub d'Alienware ou
as
vous
we
autres.
wanted to. Had some mistakes,
D'ailleurs,
some
est-ce que t'as
problems.
activé les drops toi sur ton
Also
live?
had no sleep.
You had no sleep. Now you've had some sleep, right? So you are
pense pas,
contesting
non.
at Dark Dominion today.
Yeah.
What's the plan?
Ok, on est même timing.
If we contest or no, even though if we contest, we're just gonna
On est
beat
même
them.
timing, mais oublie pas que moi,
Used to it.
il y a un temps de retard hein,
If
sur
not,
mes
we're
lives.
just gonna play as always.
Well, here's the thing.
Fait
You
que-
Oui,
won the
mais
last LAN.
t'inquiète.
You came second.
On voit pas les
This
mêmes
is a
choses.
duo
Attends, je vais
that
juste
can
changer de titre parce que là
eliminate
j'ai
and make their
FN
way to tomorrow.
Reload
So
Shield.
everyone better watch out.
Ben, genre FN Reload.
C'est pas la reload, chef.
I couldn't agree more, Frankie. Right?
Je sais, mais je vais le changer.
Really good. And again, based on the format, we either need a victory hour and in the top.
Bon,
19
après, je vais pas te mentir
think
que
that's
genre
gonna
les
be
drops,
Les
les trucs des drops, je les ai déjà depuis longtemps, mais bon.
They're used to it. They know what to do when contested. They know to take the fights to the opponents. I think they got a good shot today.
We need Swizzy in the finals. A finals at Summit without the reigning global champions from trios. It just wouldn't feel right.
Lexi, il est avec Shop.
Well, we'll have to see, man. It's gonna definitely be an uphill battle, not only for them, but for so
Lexi,
many
ouais.
other duos.
Je savais même pas.
It's gonna be close. Now, we are gonna do something a little fun here. We got a bingo card lined up. I know.
Okay.
Let's take a look at this bingo card. We'll see how this all kind of plays out. 10 plus Elim, over
Yeah.
1500 damage in a game. 40
Ah ouais, dans
solo
une demi-heure,
clutch.
j'avais pas vu.
Interesting stuff.
Alright. I can see some people doing that. A non-EU NAC team wins a game.
Ah, par contre, Zeke, il y a de la couleur.
I know you're a big
Easy.
King and Phaser guy. I think I'm going to go with Yuma and Koyoto. We were watching some of those practice games. They won game number 1 of those, so I feel like they got to be feeling pretty good in that regard.
I'm sticking with my boy, man. Vamos, King Olita. I'm sticking with my boy. Hilofia. Yeah, these are the standards. I mean,
Là, l'entrée des joueurs va bientôt arriver. là.
it's seeing the M8 fans do the
Ah gros, il
most,
était
man.
qui Fnatic, sale cool quand même gros. J'ai lu Frantic, comme what the fuck?
To see the teams on the stage.
Okay, all right, that's fair. That's fair. We'll let that happen. We'll let that happen. Guys, you know, we're getting closer. We're getting closer even to bringing the players in and starting to have them board that battle bus. How do you think they got to be feeling? You know, like I'm sure for some of them, they're thinking it's fine, not worried. Others are thinking, dude, what do I have left in the tank?
Yeah, exactly. And that's what it's all about for 25 of these duos that are going to be coming from the upper bracket. What do they have left in the tank? Are they going to be feeling a little bit disgruntled, a little bit down mentally? But I feel like the lower bracket players who are already kind of expecting to play today for sure, I feel like they're just coming into this. They have a game plan that's going to be set. They got to be well rested. I feel like they're going to be the favorites here.
Yeah, I think a lot of them, you look at the situations they're in, it looks similar to similar situations where they've been successful in the past. I think the big difference maker, which is even an unknown for me, is just how much changes with the teams being taken out of the game, right? Will people be more willing to just, out of desperation, really switch things up drastically? I'd like to think so.
Yeah, you got to think, right? Tomorrow we're playing for $250,000 that a duo that walks away in the first place. A beautiful trophy. Dude, I'm going to take every single advantage I have, right? Oh, shoot, this POI was on-con, triple-con, whatever. Someone made it through VR. Maybe that's my in, right? Especially for some of these teams that maybe don't have the points that they need to be in top 19.
It's super scary, though. We know Fortnite players, they love to feel comfortable, and landing at a different spot than you're used to, that's going to be feeling like a big risk. Even if it does feel like it's guaranteed to be uncontested, you don't really know the area. It's just going to be all that a little bit more uncomfortable.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of question marks. I think the big thing for me is making sure you are in a position to just compete regardless, right? Look, I'll make jokes about Clicks and Higgs leaving Wonky. They made the right decision, right?
Yeah.
You know, the next game, it looked a lot better, right? And making decisions like that are going to be the key to being able to play tomorrow.
Woo! Stress levels going up again. It's fine. I'm trying to contain myself. But for now, it's time to bring on our players. So, Frankie, over to you.
Thank you very much, Zeke. Yes. 25 duos will be going home today. They're playing with a trophy in the center, a constant reminder of what is at stake. They've come from around the world to Düsseldorf to fight it out on this stage, some of them playing for the first time today after qualifying through the last chance qualifier. And this is the most stressful last chance qualifier of all. So Düsseldorf, if you want to bring these players on, if you want to see them fight for their place in this competition, make some noise!
It's Muzz and Spinks. They might not have had the best day one, but with their backs up against the wall, it's time for a lower bracket run.
A big hello to Pigs and Ghosts. They're newly teamed up, but their synergy's so strong, they look like they've been here before. So can they keep it up?
All the way from OCE, Cassie and Damo. They didn't come all this way to go home now. This is their last chance to make it count.
Looking to adapt and overcome. It's with Strokey and Repairs. They're ready to lock in their spot for finals.
From Argentina and Brazil, it's Randu and Gio with their entire region feeding them energy. They're looking to speed run their way to finals.
A French delight, Podesai and Shadeau. They fought their way on some battlers, but will their next stop be finals?
Representing the Middle East, and Rexter with their backs up against the wall today. It's time to show the world what they got.
So close, but still so far in day one. Now it's time for Jordan and Gorillion to go the full distance, overcome the competition.
Here comes Sky Jump and Momsy. The French duo to the top of the summit, and they're not holding back.
Genre là, je suis en train de passer Sky Jump.
Better late than never. And for
Smoothie.
yesterday really was just the warm up. Now the real
Ok, ouais, t'as
show
le
can
parcours, ouais.
begin.
Là, ils viennent de toutes les finir. Ben, toutes les passer.
After such an epic day for North America, we had to come to these guys on day two because Muzz and Spinks, I know you want to join your friends on Championship Sunday. Spinks, what happened yesterday?
I mean, we just made some small mistakes. I remember Nebs ran off spawn like 4 games in a row. And just like we died to another team and not fight us. But I think we're locked in. We fixed our mistakes, ready to go, ready to get right on the teams we're landing on.
I'm sorry, are you blaming your failures on the British?
Yeah, I mean, you know, as an American, you know, it's kind of like we don't like the British over here, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay, well, I don't like the American over here. I'm coming over to you, Muds, because you're Australian. I feel safer with you. What do you need to do today to make it happen and to get your hands on that trophy tomorrow?
I just need to start following things properly. We need to just eliminate Nebs as quick as possible off spawn.
Okay, so Nathan and Nebs, I think these boys are coming for you. Let's head over to 11-2K with us.
Thank you very much, Frankie. For Strokey, Repairs, it's good to see you guys on the stage. Repairs, you have had a fantastic year in Fortnite. After your grand performance, you have been put on the map. A lot of people know how good you are. What's been the key to your success this year and your rapid improvement?
I mean, I think looking at the game differently, like bodying, having a coach, taking it seriously made me like good.
The preparation for this event, what's that been like so far? Have you found it a lot more difficult than preparing for EU Grands?
I mean, of course it's been difficult because I'm with a backup player. I only got to find out like 3 days before, but we've been preparing, so I'm ready.
And let's speak to that very experienced backup player for Strokey. Every time I see you today, you have the biggest smile in your face. You have a lot of experience in Grands, a lot more than a lot of the people on this stage. Do you think that helps you in this lobby today?
Yeah, definitely helps me. I mean, I'm like experienced. I played those lobbies before. I'm not really that nervous right now. Like, I'm confident and I think we can do it.
Good luck up Spawn, boys. I'm going to send it back to Frankie.
Merci beaucoup, Levin. I'm joined by Sato and Podesai. Very quickly, Sato, vous êtes prêt?
Yes, sir.
Bien sûr. He is ready.
Oh,
Sato,
c'est vrai, c'est
cool.
Non, Sato, je crois que c'est même pas par l'anglais.
Just one day before the last chance qualifier.
So it was after the grand final, we both did bad. So obviously, Sato and me was the obvious choice. And we're teaming up one day before and we did well.
Ouais, puis une vraie chance qu'il n'y ait pas d'essai par l'anglais, gros.
Contested off spawn by Marius and iDrop today.
Not at all.
Not at all. Interesting. Well, let's bring out some more teams, I think.
Ça veut dire quoi, c'est not at all? Attends, non, mais c'est parce que je sais pas ça dit ça, je pense pour voir genre niquer iDrop Mario genre au spawn, mais lui j'ai pas compris, genre... Poda j'ai pas compris ce qu'il... Ouais je sais mais Poda j'ai pas compris ce qu'il dit. Copy not at all genre, mais je sais pas ce qu'il dit.
Non j'ai pas trop compris. Ben peut-être que même lui il a même pas compris
Oh. NTO Corp. Attends, c'est pas une notif genre. C'est pas une notif.
Belushi and Zangi, the Italian stallions, take their first step towards the summit. Let's see how far they can get.
Par contre, le trophée, il est insane.
Ben,
Savage!
C'est le trophée et la couronne. Vio et fier.
Savage.
Ouais, t'as un petit peu plus de temps que moi, genre. T'as un petit peu moins de temps que moi, genre. Genre, t'as dit Savage puis je l'ai vu, genre.
J'étais une petite affaire en avant.
C'est ça, c'était genre quelques millisecondes, je pense, de quoi de même. Vraiment, t'as dit Savage, le nom a apparu, genre. Ils ont apparu, ça.
Josh Riley!
Josh Riley! And the highlight hands up!
Elle est on top.
Alors, The 14th Kid, and je sais pas trop c'est quoi l'autre terme, je n'en sais encore. Last City Plague. Ouais, je l'ai dit, il a changé ce photo. Attends, mais gros, je l'ai dit, il a changé.
Tu dis?
Ben, il me semble la dernière fois, il y avait des cheveux genre fucking courts, quasiment à la boss cut, genre, pis il y avait des cheveux genre blondettes un peu.
And Danny Kush, because you guys qualified in the last chance qualifier in the Middle East on 100 ping.
100 ping.
Just how hard was that?
100 ping.
That was pretty hard, but I mean,
Bro.
coming into here from 100 ping to 0, that's a quite upgrade. And we are glad that we have the opportunity to come and prove the world what we've got in us.
C'est quoi son blaze?
All the things we practiced in the couple of months.
So do you think that that was your hardest challenge, or is getting through the lower bracket today going to be your hardest challenge?
I don't think it's really that hard, but we'll see.
And what do these other teams need to know about you guys, as this is your
Joshua
first
Lee dans le
LAN?
fond,
What
man, il
should they
a
watch out for?
That we came here
C'est un
to
kid,
win.
bro.
That's our job, and that's what we're gonna
C'est un
do.
kid,
I can't wait
mais
to see
genre
you try.
lundi,
Let's
il
head
va
to
être en
11.
cours.
Thank you very much, Frank. And with the Italian Stallions, are they
Ouais,
ready for the
l'école.
challenge? Will there be a
Ouais.
challenge? You guys might be
Non,
contested, you
bah,
might not be. Are
toi,
you
je sais
ready
pas, moi,
regardless?
non.
Zangi?
Yeah, we're ready. If we're gonna get contested, we're gonna 6-0 them, and we're gonna win today.
6-0, I like that prediction, but Lucy, I feel like people always underrate Italian Fortnite players. Do you have something to prove today?
Yeah, I think it would be easy for us, no problem.
What happens in a scenario where you do get contested? Have you prepared for that eventuality?
Well, we're prepared for everything. We prepared since we qualified for 1 month straight, so I think it will go fine.
Well, if it does go that way, good luck off spawn, my friends. Back to you, Frankie.
Obrigada 11. I am joined by Nuti and Gabzera. Nuti, you are
j'ai ça pendant 2
uncontested
secondes, je
right
pensais que c'était
now.
fin.
Is that how you like to
Mais
play
il faut
things?
quoi, je pense,
Yes,
mec?
it is.
Non, c'est vrai, il faut
So
pas.
I feel like, you know, we stereotype the Brazilian teams as being people who like to fight.
Let's go,
Are you
les
going to play it
French,
straight today,
oh.
or are you going for one of
Il
those
arrêtera
victory
pas.
royale passes to Championship Sunday?
We're winning again today.
Il y avait juste moi qui me disait dans le vide, genre.
Watch out for these guys. And you know what? Gabzera, I know you've got loads of Brazilian fans watching back home. Have you got a message for them?
Il y a juste un duo de manettes en haut.
Eu
Le
sei que
reste,
você
c'est
tem
tout des
muitos fãs em
CS.
casa. Tem uma mensagem pra eles?
Tenho sim, peço pra geral aí que tá torcendo no
Ok,
Brasil.
ouais, ok.
Não torça
On
só
l'entend
pra mim por
qu'ils
Lute,
sont
mas torça pra
pas
geral.
anglophones.
Manda energias positivas e pode ter certeza que a gente tá dando nosso melhor aqui.
So they say to all the Brazilians, not just for them, but for all the Brazilians, that they're gonna try to do their best in dominating.
Well, I'm afraid I don't know much Brazilian Portuguese,
Gros.
but I do know
Il y en a un, il
Thanos.
ressemble
Let's
fucking
bring
gros à
out more
Cole. Bah, le
teams.
doute qu'il y avait à droite, là, il ressemble fucking gros à Cole, genre.
Justin Michael. Oh, Cheeto!
Cheeto and Pablo! Vote! Vote!
Honnêtement, eux autres, ils ont trop de flow, man.
Ouais, eux autres, ils ont trop de flow, ouais. Ah, eux autres, je connais pas. Je suis sûr, il y en a plein qui jouent leur first LAN.
Nathan.
Attends, est-ce que c'est Nathan, genre, qui avait Shadeau?
Ouais.
Je.
Ouais, c'est lui.
Goat, man. Control Goat, bro.
Ouais, non, c'est pas le meilleur contrôleur.
Shut the fuck up, this is the best controller. Il est juste ma forme d'ailleurs, c'est le meilleur. Non, je vois manette.
Non, le meilleur, c'est Timmy.
C'est qui?
Timmy.
C'est lui.
Ouais, lui qui est avec Shark.
Ah! Timmy! Timmy?
Ah oui, Timmy!
Ah, mais je sais, mais ta gueule, ok?
C'est des Japonais,
Je vais peut-être laisser un peu.
Pour moi, c'est des Québécois.
Qui ça?
Non.
Zombie et tout, c'était trop beau pour être vrai. J'étais à quel moment il y a des Janice? C'est le seul que je connais dans le duo. Parce que je connais des
Là, tout le monde est rentré, right? Non, Kurama est pas rentré. Marius.
Ah, drop ma... Ah non, c'est vrai,
This
drop
is your
Marius, faut pas
first
encore.
FNCS LAN. How did you find day one?
Day one was just kind of unlucky. I feel
Ça devrait
like
être le teammate à Polio, ça.
stole our loot.
Attends, mais c'est pas un Italien, lui?
That's Fortnite, Javi.
No,
People
it's
are going to come
Mexican.
for your loot, aren't
Ah, bah
they?
oui, je suis con.
Let's see how you fare today.
Écoute, je me suis trompé entre les deux drapeaux, fais pas chier. Il y a trop de drapeaux dans le monde, frère.
Yeah, I think we really prepared to be either
Ta gueule.
contested or single contested, and we weren't really prepared for the triple contest. But I think we should be in a good situation today, no matter what happens.
So are you expecting to be
have
uncontested,
no
or have you just
testers
been
or,
practicing those
sorted.
off spawns all night?
I'm not... Hey, boy.
Both, I imagine. We're going to head over to
Ok, ferme ta gueule.
Thank you very much, Frank. I'm here with the pride and
Oh,
joy
ok,
of
peut-être.
UK
Ils vont
Fortnite.
peut-être
We
pas
got
sortir.
Nebs and Nathan
Peut-être
in
pas
the building.
sortir.
I
Peut-être
don't know
pas.
if you lot were hearing what Muzz and Sphinx were saying about you guys.
Non,
It was me
attends.
that wouldn't let it
Non,
slide.
attends.
What happened yesterday, though, Nate?
Yesterday we kind of split humble. I don't know, like I think we should be fighting more, to be honest.
T'as-tu vu?
Ah, ok, ouais, je viens d'en connaître la voix de Nathan.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of how humble is. One team lands one side, the other land the other side. And
Non, mais t'as-tu vu hier
Nebs, you are
Shark, il y a Pickaxe.
Ouais, il y a Pickaxe.
Fighting them off spawn.
I hope so, yeah.
Okay. Obviously, there's a lot of fans watching. You guys represent the UK.
Hold
what do you have
off
to
a
say
player.
to all the fans out there supporting you today?
4 more out of a player.
Hope we qual, boys.
Come on, the boys. Back to you, Frankie.
Thank you very much, Levin.
On en parle que ils l'ont kick parce que genre il faisait plus assez de pertes puis maintenant il est dans une LAN.
Oh non, ça c'est parce qu'il sait quoi au last chance.
Through the last chance. What's it like to now be here at your
Tout le monde sait son quoi au last chance, sont tous là.
I'm kind of spotting. I'm better than them, and I'm 6-0 them.
Who are you going to be 6-0ing today?
Alex and Reckless.
Ooh, have you been watching much of Oceania, Liam?
I have not been watching much of Oceania, no.
Do you not care about who your opponents are? You're just that confident you're going to run them down?
I've heard they have a good track record, but we beat the
la
most
moitié du lobby, je connais pas.
Non plus.
Interesting. Well, I think we need to bring more teams on to keep that heat coming.
Mais d'après moi, c'est parce que c'est juste des randoms qui se sont qual, genre.
Wow, last chance.
Ouais. Hey, mais il me semble que.
Oh,
King.
Lui, à World Cup,
j'ai confondu Phaser avec Faker.
Another King. Oh non, 6-7.
Ah non, lui, get out, get the fuck out.
Toyota.
Il
était là hier. Fait que c'est pas quoi.
Toyota.
En fait, tout le monde qui était là hier, ça veut dire que ce sont pas quoi. Eux se sont pas quoi hier, puis ils sont là via les last chance. I drop. Bias.
On y a combien, on va entendre des. Genre.
Epic Will.
Ah ouais, ça change de l'époque, hein, Epic Will. Il est un peu vieilli, je trouve. Je suis pas toi, mais bon.
Wesh, le gars de droite, il a l'air d'un kid. Ben, c'en est un. Ah ouais, c'est d'accord.
Les
West.
Il y a d'abord des inconnus.
Ben, demain, on va pas mal tous les connaître. Eux, je les connais un peu. Un des deux qui se le mettre à bouger. Click!
Ouais, bon, non, là, j'ai un peu plus d'attente parce que mon truc a bugué.
Ça reste quand même stack, hein.
Ouais. Ils ont quand même fait quoi, 4 fois? Oh, ben, en fait, au World, l'année passée, ils l'ont fait quoi, 2 fois? Je le savais tellement que ça allait gueuler mieux de gros. On entend quoi? Marius! 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 On n'a pas que ça. Encore heureux, Français.
So is that what you're playing for today, X-Bon? Just the victory royale?
I mean, yesterday I was feeling under the weather. Today I'm just gonna go out and show what I can do.
Yeah, so...
À ton avis, il y en a combien qui vont être dans des teams e-sport?
Okay, and I just want to ask you one last thing before I let you go. Because your dad is the reason you're here.
Yeah.
So tell me about your dad quick. What did he do to get you through?
Attends, fait que celui-là à droite, genre il est dans une team fuck all. L'autre à gauche, pas partout.
Let's head over to Levin.
Thank you very much, Frankie. I'm
Allez,
here
clique.
with the two
Tu sais
people
que, je sais pas si t'as vu sur Twitter, mais Pilava et Polio, ils ont donné des conseils dans Practice Room à Clix et X.
You know, today we're very confident, and yesterday's not matter at all.
J'ai vu ça sur Twitter.
Out your mind completely. Yeah. Clix, I don't want to bring it up, but last time you were in the lower bracket, you know what happened. It didn't end well in 2023. What have you learned from that? What's going to be different today?
Well, I got a different duo. I got Higgs IGOing, so the difference is going to be big. He's going to...
No more epic whale.
Hey, come on, man. Allow my guy epic.
Goat.
when Higgs makes calls for you guys to potentially leave Wonky like he did yesterday, do you have full belief in his decision making? Do you completely back him no matter what?
Yeah, any decision Higgs says, it's 100% factual. I got to stick with it no matter what and play the game.
Higgs, the crowd is very loud. They're not loud for you. Do you let that get to you, or do you just have to block them all out today?
No.
Gentle.
This guy don't care about nothing, man. You know what, Frankie? This guy don't care about nothing. What do you got going on your side?
Ça se voit tellement genre que Click puis qu'ils sont habitués gros. Genre ils ont aucun fucking stress, genre ils sont encore c'est natural genre quasiment pour eux.
Higgs? That's light work, come on.
Oh, il a été à
We
toutes
don't
les
think
LAN.
much of Higgs apparently in this
Ouais.
booth. Epic,
En
well,
tout cas,
this is like
Click.
your fifth LAN. You're
Ouais,
so
je
used to
pense
this.
pas.
What made you want to play with Pump?
Je pense que j'ai commencé vers peut-être chapitre 3.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at his
Chapitre... Non, genre
placement,
chapitre 4 à peu près.
he's just the best West player. He's him.
Are you him?
I am him. I'm playing with Will. You know, he's a veteran in the game.
Quoi?
So I'm not really worried about today.
Okay.
You shouldn't be worried about today. Guys, it is so exciting to have you here joining us in Düsseldorf. And I think we need some more players for you to
Another,
play
il y a
with.
d'autres duos?
Sérieux?
Non, je parle pas à toi.
Tu vas te parler à tes parents genre? Oh là il me dit sérieux. Mais dommage que tout le monde.
Les autres ils étaient là hier.
L'effet natique ça me dit quoi ça?
Alex.
Oh, Power! Il y a juste Alex que je connais, c'est bon.
Moi avec. Oh, oh, oh.
Oh! Archers and Ritual.
Un big duo. Mais ils se sont pas collés hier, mais t'inquiète.
Attends, mais gros, Ritual, il a quel âge?
Oh!
Yo Melvin, ça va, go? Oh! French guy! Akira.
Oh!
C'est bon, ça leur fait bouh!
Ouais, les Allemands, ils sont pas vraiment
Les gens, il y a encore j'aime 8, ils voient les French bouh! What the fuck?
Non, mais les Allemands, ils aiment pas vraiment les Français.
Je me demande pourquoi, mais bon. Mais Akira...
Vadil!
Vadil? Ah ouais. Oh là, ça gueule en aspire hein, pour Vadil. Ça le kiffe en salle, hein, Vadil, gros?
Newest representatives from Oceania. Unfortunately, boys, you found
Allez, faut
yourself
toutes
in
les
the lower
avocs sur
bracket.
toi.
And Gerald, I
Bah,
spoke to
espérons
you
qu'ils se
before
collent
the
tous, parce que-
competition kicked off. You said
Mon bâton
normally
Nico.
Australian players, Oceanian players, they play scared. So how did you play yesterday?
Well, we didn't really have a drop, so like we were just going different places. But now we know where to land.
So you're prepared this time.
Yeah.
And what was the best thing about yesterday? What did you learn from day one?
Don't fall no drops.
Don't fall no
Et
drops.
comme
Okay,
les
so what
avocs
did
sont
you learn
proches,
today?
Those are six out of 6 good points.
Okay, and for you, Gerald, have you been humbled at all by your experience yesterday? Or do you know you've got it in you? You're the big dog on top.
It's definitely very different to OC, but I think we can qual. It's not impossible.
It's not impossible, and you know what's not impossible? More German players in Championship Sunday. Levin's got a treat in store for you, Düsseldorf.
Yes, I do, Frankie. I got the team that the crowd went crazy for. Once again,
Ah, c'est Vadil!
Vadil! We have seen this season so many times in formats where you have to win to qualify. You've come so close. You had second after second after second. What's going to be the key to victory for you this time?
I mean, I have the best player right here. He's going to carry me this time. So, yeah.
Drew, you are a top player. We know that. You quit the game, and then you came back.
Bro, I was about to quit, but then, I mean, the life got something for you, you know? Never give up.
And now you're here on this stage. Vadil, these fans
Ça
are
doit
going
être
crazy
joué
for you
quand même,
now.
reste de
Do you
bâti,
have
guys.
anything you have to say to them before the games get going?
Ey, ich mach das mal auf Deutsch. Ey, danke für jeden, der
Okay,
hier ist.
fuck
Bruder,
all
ihr seid die Besten. Kommt mal euch an, ihr seid die Besten. Ich danke für euch. Vielen Dank.
Oh, ça a bugué.
absolutely crazy. Jew, for deal. Good luck today. You got the support.
Je vais peut-être un peu reload, guys.
Back to you, Frankie.
Parce que là, il y avait de la latence en tabarouette.
Je devrais peut-être porter un chapeau.
Peut-être commencez pas avec vos annonces de 2 heures, please. Même l'annonce a pris bug.
Il y a un mort par jour sur les routes du Québec. Aujourd'hui, c'est moi.
It will be winning this LAN.
Oh, Akira is the boy.
I think after your performance in the last chance qualifier, you've got a good shot. Why do you think you became one of the strongest teams in Europe?
Sont-ils déjà dans le lobby ou quoi?
Parce que j'ai vu.
I mean, we got experience. We play together since a long time. We have the chemistry, and I think we're just the best.
And you know what? En français, have you got anything to say
Ça
to
gueule
the
bonne fois, t'as qui, gros?
Junto! Junto! Junto!
And there you have it. This could be the best birthday ever, but we'll have to wait and see. Let's head back to the desk.
Bon anniversaire, Akira.
I am
Bon ben,
so
bonne fête Akira. Hein.
Dude, if you told me this was finals, I would believe you. The quality of this lower bracket, so many incredible
Attends, mais gros, Akira il doit tellement vivre sa best life, man. À son anniversaire, il t'a une LAN, gros.
Ouais, Kurama aussi, man.
C'est la fête à Kurama aussi?
Ah, c'est sa fête à Akira?
Ouais? T'as pas entendu quelqu'un dans le public dire joyeux anniversaire à Akira? Je disais, il gueulait même joyeux anniversaire, je te jure, gros. Je l'ai dit, mais qui? Puis je l'ai suivi. Ok, fait que les prédictions de vide. Peut-être mieux de mettre des avocs.
Josh Riley, Shadeau, Virgo.
Bon, comment ça, Savage deuxième, gros?
Ouais, ça, peut-être plus à cause de Velo. Parce que Velo, ça a l'air qu'il est ultra fort en fight.
Ouais, moi, ça soit Velo.
Avec Chino, Pablo.
Comment ça, c'est juste 5ème? My bad, mais pour moi, à juste les Ritual, Mr. Savage, ils sont plus bas.
Bah pour moi, Sweezy et Pixie sont à l'avant de Savage.
Ouais, clairement. Là, c'est pas des préférences, mais on parle en termes de level.
I like your picks. I think we have a lot of similar picks.
X clicks.
Because there's a couple
And
names
Akira,
that I threw in that I don't think you had. The first one.
Ouais, Akira, Kurama, Valed, Vivi, Joshpeli et Hamza.
Ok, en vrai.
Comment ça, y'a pas Pablo Wingo pis Chino, gros?
Ouais, c'est ça, je comprends pas.
Feels like a pattern with him. I think on the stage, with the backing of the fans, a first place is coming.
My bad, mais excuse, ok, mes Clicks pis X sont max top 3 pour moi.
Ouais, pour moi, Josh Riley sont en avant d'eux.
Même Suzy Pixie, après moi, il serait peut-être un peu plus haut. Après, je connais pas le niveau de la team à Valeo, mais bon. Fait que je peux rien dire là-dessus. Mais tu sais, Clicks pis X, c'est pas la première fois qu'on les voit, tu vois. Fait que eux, on peut se permettre de juger.
Is it just me
or
is he maybe on his Venno arc a little bit? Is he a little bit on that like I'm a turn
Dans le lobby,
villain?
la game commence bientôt.
See what that feels like, Lev.
You know, I think it suits him. I really do think it suits him. And you know what makes it better, Viv? It's believable. Like, I believe him. When he says he don't care, and when he says it's over, it's up for anybody, I really do believe him. And so I hope Clicks, again, has that same belief as far as just following every decision he makes and delivering the goods.
And this has been actually a continuous conversation, so I'm happy you guys kind of brought it up because it
Ils doivent
seems
tellement avoir
like
des
it's
machines de guerre, gros.
flipped in terms of
Je pense qu'ils sont bien petits leur PC.
Non, je pense pas. Non, ils ont tous le même PC.
Ouais, mais il me semble qu'ils sont petits.
Ouais, ils sont petits là, PC.
Tu sais, ça doit être des très gros trucs, mais il me semble que c'est petit.
Ah, mais c'est le composant qui est big là. C'est qui fait Kaija.
They're in the lower bracket, so I feel like so far it hasn't worked out, but maybe today we'll see them.
Allez, the first game got started right now.
I gotta see a VR out of so. Josh, I mean, come on, man. You know that would just up that confidence through the roof.
Ouais, ils ont pas en train de cheater.
This is so right, man. This can happen. Dude, I would be.
Ouais, c'est parce qu'il a pas eu, je sais pas trop quoi, ça me tentait juste de dire ça.
Non, ça c'est plus le bot.
Je vois pas Peter, mais bon.
Non, puis le bot il est pas là, il est quoi pour donner. T'as-tu vu un peu pour hier?
Je vais te dire, j'étais en stage, fait que pas vraiment.
Ah, t'es en stage, tu savais?
Ouais. Fait que non, j'ai même pas eu le temps de tout voir.
Ben moi avec.
Genre j'aurais peut-être vu 15 minutes max. Sur peut-être quoi, 3-4 heures? Fait que non, pas vraiment.
Mais la vraie journée c'est demain.
Look, the M8 fans, they were just bouncing right now. I think if Akira
Puis le bot il fait des photos avec toute la crowd.
Avec tout quoi?
Avec toute la crowd.
Doing the Poznan. I would like to see so much.
Mais là, il y a qui de quoi?
I think they will win a game, and so we might not get to see the most from them.
Il y a Shark,
man.
Puis le bot.
I'm getting word. The game.
Malika, Vico.
This is the lower bracket. Casters, take it away.
Il y a des gros noms.
Thank you guys, everybody out there, for joining us. This is day number 2, and our analysts broke it down perfect. What is truly at stake?
Là, qu'ils me fassent pas une pub, là.
There on the table. I know I have some favorites that I want to see, but they're going to have to earn it, Taco.
It's just the fact that win and you're in. You can chase that victory royale. You can focus exclusively on it, but just in case you don't, top 19, the consistency metrics still playing a key part. So let's see what happens here in game 1.
On a sick game. Let's go.
We're already anticipating that things could potentially get very spicy at a few key parts of the map, Jacob. But for some of our duos, they might not be expecting that at all.
Yeah, this is kind of how you feel in the moment. We've had already some players switch up their drop spots. We've had others stick to what they said coming into this major one summit.
Ah, pas une fois, c'est qui monte les French.
Attends, mais il y a un contest à drop.
On the map here, but for Shadeau, they're already contested as well. Marius and I drop right out of the gates, a little bit of a split drop. Both of them getting their respective floor though, but neither one of them wanted to make that big play. And this could be the so far away. They have a 2v1, Taco.
Let's see how much of that Verdoxy coach assistance for iJump and Medius in the player lounge pans out this week, because now it's their opportunity to show exactly what they've learned. But Podesai, Shadeau, they're not trying to fold over anytime soon here. Medius, iJump still applying a bit of steady pressure. It's all about finding the first opening shots. Both of these duos don't really have much shield. iJump, who actually exchanges the elimination onto Podesai. Shadeau is left scrambling.
Ah, Shadeau, il a bien fait ça avec le truc.
Shadeau, dégage, Shadeau.
Dégage, gros, t'es en train de péter en deux. Ah, puis il y a Vergo qui arrive.
Oh, il se fait déjà shoot.
Ah, mais Shadeau, t'es con. Shadeau joue plus en ZB, gros. Attends, sais-tu c'est qui c'est qui l'IGL ou pas dans la team de Poda et Shadeau? Ah ben ça se voit en tabarouette.
Janice.
Oh bon ben rendu là.
J'ai déjà des kills.
Écoute, j'ai fait un jeu de moi avec son blazer, alors t'as un problème?
At least it's not over for them
Hein?
yet. Chap,
Ben, toi, rendu
à
R&D, gros, tu fais un jeu de mots avec son blaze.
You gotta look at the flip side of things. You gotta realize that now you have more experience in person, playing in front of a crowd, playing with those nerves. And for Chap and Flixie, I feel like they gotta be one of our teams in that top 19 consistency.
Tough break there, though, if you're a controller and Haman. But at the same time, Flixie and Chap probably very happy knowing that they're not going to be as contested for this starting point. They were dealing with Leo and Romero, I believe, who already had their success in the upper bracket.
Parce qu'ils sont quand même en train de faire une pub pour skin de Skill Gamer. Ah, par contre, c'est quoi le skin de Chino?
Joshua Riley qui die par Shadeau. Ouais, hein, ça, je sais pas c'est quoi son skin.
But Josh is down. Ianto's in the 1v1. Shadeau is not going down without a fight. But
Shadeau peut-être un V2.
Huge HP advantage. Has some extra shields and the quick heals. He's going to
disengage.
That's going
to
force Shadeau to make a decision. Do you pressure, not let him get the revive, or disengage and survive?
Shadeau just didn't want to take the risk. The fact that he was even able to bring down Josh Riley in the first place is incredible. Seeing that you can see already what took place. The playmaking opportunities that Shadow's trying to bring to fruition. But of
Oh,
course,
c'est moi ou
Chino
c'est toi? Quoi?
trying to see if they can
Oh, le boulot! Oh, le boulot, gros!
and now it's all up to Chino to see whether he can close things out. Apollo, he's not finished. He wants to see
Chino, Pablo, calm down! Wow! Bon ben, face Rocky, ça dégage, hein.
Played by Chino and Pablo there in that situation. They realize that fast Rocky lands over towards 4 fields, which
ah mais ils ont dégagé d'une vitesse, gros.
Une attaque kill un autre joueur manette.
Ah ouais, il pop c'est un joueur manette.
Surprises so many people, catching them off guard. As you jump on board, King and Phaser over towards the side of the mountain. They already have that first elimination, and it looks like they're trying to chase down the second.
Oh, t'as Shadeau, il y a Shadeau là.
Oh!
Oh, Shadeau, ça dégage.
Ah bah oui, bah Shadeau, il dégage complètement.
Bad deal.
Les gars, c'est qui comme French? Akira puis
Kurama.
Akira Kurama, ouais, c'est ça, j'allais dire, puis Skyjump, puis l'autre qui shoot sur Blast. Ouais, Monty.
But it sounds like the fan favorite Vadil and Ju rotating in the second zone relatively early. If you look at their loadout, they're maxed on materials. Their loadout in terms of heals is as best as it can be, minus maybe a chug jug, so they have nothing to worry about for the next couple of zones. Meanwhile, on the whole side of the map, Randu's already down. GRX is trying to decide what loot he needs to bring with him, and it's a 1v1 against Chap.
And the problem right now for Chap is that
Wow, non mais ce pompe-là met trop de dégâts, man.
be without Flixie, but everyone is just creeping around these building corners. It's as if everyone's just playing a horror game of Fortnite right now.
Yeah, you kind of saw it in the beginning of the game in the feed that Yanis did take down Randu in that exchange in their off-spawn fight. GRX is trying to stay alive, just like anybody else. If you have at least 500 gold, you don't even need to pick up that reboot card. You go straight to the reboot van and you can buy your teammate back. And that's why you see so many players shockwaving away from the fight before their teammate even goes down to try to give them a chance.
Il y a pas son skin.
and Akira, though, hanging out by Battlewood Boulevard, you have to remember
Cristal,
part of the reason why they were able to
mais gros, me semble que genre, quand ils sont sur leur POV, me semble qu'ils lag, non?
They've likely got a solid strategy for how they want to play through this north side position of the POI, but at the same time, when you're depending on so much storm play opportunity, you have to expect there's other teams still waiting around too, teams that are a little bit more scuffed. That's what they're banking on as well at night, trying to see if they can find Chap in the mix of it all, and Chap doing what he can to just push them back.
Yeah, you can kind of see a whole new sense of gameplay here, but Chap shuts him down.
Ça, ça va se faire mal.
And now it's time to unleash the beast. Chap trying to push in, get pressure, push Knight back, and you see him backshot for his revive.
Ça a traversé l'écran, gros.
Il a fait l'esquive.
Mais tu sais, le temps, gros, je faisais des je réagissais à mon jeu IRL, hein. Bah, Fortnite IRL.
Ce jeu, moi, avec... Oh, Janice, par contre, backstab.
And yet they still couldn't come out on top in that situation. The momentum shift, it can swing that rapidly, and now you're left to wonder what Knight going to do. Where's his recovery going to take place?
Yanis and cheating again. They got that one elimination off spawn floating around. They probably heard the reboot. All that action going down around New Sanctuary. And the way this side of the map works, New Sanctuary is like in a canyon down below, and you got all these mountain ranges up above, and they're using that to their full advantage to try to get damage. Storm Surge, that allows them a lot of mobility and freedom throughout the mid-game.
Definitely a little bit worried though for their surge strategy. They spent a lot of time investing into playing for that reboot, right? They just absorbed a lot of damage in the process of that first escape, so have to wait and see what takes place next. But Bello and Savage, Squibbly Shores, contested, uncontested, it's all up in the air right now. You can't expect
Savage, non, pas encore, c'est moche. Ah non, Vélo, lui, il a l'air solide.
Savage, il va se faire chase.
Was all a distraction factor because these guys are creeping around Squibbly right now. They're trying to figure out who's going to be
Savage, il a l'air d'avoir aucune idée qu'ils sont là.
I hope Bello spotted him out. He's in that surge tower. He has the bird's eye view. I know we saw it, but he doesn't necessarily get to see. But Sphinx and Muzz are closing the distance. A good opportunity to at least get damage onto Mr. Savage. And since his teammate is so far away, they try to go for the Elam. 50 shield gone just like that. And now they're trying to push in Savage, trying to extend his distance away.
Vélo, ce jeu, il est trop fort.
Trying to make his way on over.
Je pense qu'il y a d'autres sharks, là.
Everything in his power to try and reunite with Savage. He wants to make sure that Muzz and Sphinx don't have the opportunity to just dive bomb into where he's boxed up. And Savage, he's not interested in the fight whatsoever. Hasn't necessarily taken that many surge tags in the process, so they can still disengage here.
Perfect play for Savage, especially with how separated him and Velo
were. Juste qui sont moins forts, qui sont pas quoi.
Using that surge tower just wasn't able to spawn out.
Ils ont pas réussi à faire le top 25 hier, ils sont là.
Nalu, Rainy over towards Riptides. Epic Whale, Pump towards Riptides as well, and Pump is fresh off of a reboot. Epic Whale forced to stay alive and get his teammate back into the game, but now they're just getting approached one step at a time. They're getting closer and closer to trying to fight him.
A big momentum swing here too, though. One elimination apiece tells me that they got the better end of the exchange between Daya and Bobby, and it's always going to be a rough start. But Liam, Jace, whether or not they actually managed to find one of those original Painted Palms teams could be left to say, but at the same time here, Jacob, it's your first LAN, right? It's your first real appearance, and yet they're playing like there's no pressure at all.
Yeah, playing like he's at home. I bet you got his shoes kicked off, pockets empty, and just kind of feeling himself. In that interview there in the pregame, he was feeling confident. Yanis cheating, staying around Sus Studios. It is a vending machine nearby where they are going to use it to buy some med kits, patch up, or any shields that they do
il y avait tout le monde, ça devait être stack en tabarnak.
Side of the zone versus some of the other teams on the outskirts, including the one they just got tags on. They don't have that same luxury.
Keeping an eye on the elimination feed, though, investing some time here at Sus could definitely work in their favor because that initial off spawn over at Riptides, it's so easy to third party commit to, but for Chap,
genre qui avait réussi avant les last chance.
Parce que ça rappelle, il y avait eu des bannis là. Puis Josh Riley était là-dedans.
D'un banni.
Camped out. Yeah, and you see them kind of staggering their med kits.
First it was
Cheat and Janice ready to hold the wall, and then Yanis was able to do it as well. Chap and Flixie know they're there on the other side. Probably got the auto.
Il y a même Thomas HD qui
faut. They don't want to force themselves in a bad situation like Min Salco here. 150.
Il est fort, mais pour faire top 2. Top 1, il y a de la misère.
So it's almost in a situation here where they have to win this fight because if they disengage, they're going to be left with scraps.
Benikush already called it out, though. They're looking for the win outright. could find it. Minute.
Oh, le boulot qu'il a fait.
But Daniku's still having to push back. Now Salco's
Salco
be the first to fall, and just like that, Minute and Salco find themselves eliminated from the lobby yet again. No chance to see what's actually going to unfold for them in the remainder of this lobby, but just a great opening from Tiggs, doing an excellent job to really catch Salco off guard.
Yeah, they were so worried about Danikush that they just lost track of Tiggs, who had control of the wall. You see back-to-back shots to take them both out of the game and start to build that confidence, just like Clix and Higgs here. Even though they were contested by King and Phaser over at Wonky Land, they didn't want to fight it out early. They're just sitting straight to their strategy. On the other side, though, fresh off the reboot means you are likely below that damage threshold. Graphic well and pump. This fight is everything for game one.
They're just running out of time. They don't have the damage. They barely have the heals for it. Nalu and Rainy are just continuing to stall us out, and Pump is even out for the count entirely here. Nalu, Rainy, they'll also have the benefit of the Siphon now ticking over. They've got more than enough pizza slices too, and Jacob, we're in a 2-tick. This situation just is so compromised right now. That initial off-spawn fight for Whale and Pump, it's just not boding well.
And you see Pump just trying to go for a quick shot. Needed a miracle, doesn't get it. Nalu and Rainy, they're able to win that one, but they have about 50 or so seconds to make it to the zone. You said it yourself. By now, it is going to be a 2-tick, but once this one closes, we're going to be moving to a 5-tick, so it doesn't matter how many kills you have. You don't want to have to expend it early before you reach the zone, before you reach this endgame.
Definitely a little bit more pep in their step, though, after finding those 2 eliminations. Maybe the surge damage will help them overcome the rest of the obstacles still left to deal with here. Skyjump and Momsy, a very scrappy French duo. They've got Sphinx and Muzz in their sights currently, but Clipface will cut that line of sight. Still, maybe a little bit caught if they decide to clash with the Kieran Karam. There's no guarantees, but the way that they were kind of trying to set up against Muzz and Sphinx, it almost seems like they need the damage. And sure enough, 42 below on Surge. Just one tap.
Là, il se sent
You don't
bien.
want that surge to activate, really
Bah,
force
pas
your hand.
vraiment.
Momsy does more than that.
Akira,
It's a nice shot on Akira and Karama. Now they're below the damage threshold.
Eux aussi, il faudrait qu'ils mettent une 2 balles.
Et Clix, il est mort.
Box fights like this, it's just a tough way
Il est mort
to
de
kind of
quoi?
go out, and Higgs is feeling the pressure as well. They
Pas
were
de
over
phaser.
100 above the damage threshold last time we seen him, and now he's
Savage est mort.
157 below. Clix is gone,
Shaq
and now
est
Higgs
mort.
forced to clutch up here in game number 1.
It's incredible, though, that Higgs is even in this position in the first
Le
place.
trio de
157
Flixi est
below,
mort.
but look at where the zone has pulled to. It's wonky. You would think this would be ideal.
Ah, mais c'est moi ou genre X puis Click sont tellement genre en mode on rush pas qu'ils sont tout le temps en dessous de la stand surge.
Yeah, 10 teams need to go down for him or Velo are granted
Non, mais me
any
semble
points,
ils
and
sont
they're
souvent en
both
dessous de la
below the
stand
damage
surge.
threshold. Velo, not so much.
Ouais.
He needs one
ils
shot,
mettent pas
whether
assez
it's
de
the
dégâts.
AR or the shotgun to land
Ça,
without
je dis,
taking
ils jouent
much,
trop
but he gets
facile.
tagged up
Velo, il est
again,
mort.
above, right back down below. Velo now has to be perfect with these heals. Zone moving in, and I think
Avec
this is the
Pixie.
end of the road for Velo in game 1.
Oh, let's do it this time.
Here, and Higgs might need a similar fate. He
Bon,
also
bah,
needs
Velo, il est
damage,
dead.
but he also has to stay moving. Trying to
Velo,
see
ouais.
if he can catapult himself
Ah ouais,
somewhere
it's une
else in the
Peter
lobby,
Butt.
trying to build up. Supply crate, fortunately, going to drop just in the nick of time here, but
dis,
he's
ah
still
ouais,
getting lit
it's
up
une
by these
Peter
surge
Butt.
tags. Medkit and a shield potion, decent amount of materials. He might be
Pablo
able to turn
Wingo
this one around,
tranquille.
and just like that,
X qui
the
attend de se
surge
mettre la
thresholds
grosse.
are just
Il était en fait.
teeter-tottering above and below, but he's still trying to see if he can wait things out.
Yeah, 184, essentially a full elimination worth of damage, but where this zone goes is either going to help
Pablo qui fait un
him
autre kill.
or hurt him. If it goes up the side of the mountain, that's going to give him so many shockwave opportunities to get damage. And Higgs, he has to earn it, but he was just blessed as the zone moves up the side of the mountain. But he peaks, he takes a lot of damage, but it goes to show how chaotic this end game's going to be.
Pablo Chino?
Ouais.
Ouais, c'est lui.
Même s'ils se sont pas qualifiés, ça reste un duo. Ça reste des favoris.
Higgs,
Ouais,
man,
je pense
you
qu'ils vont
just
squad.
have to think these are the moments where you really cannot
You're
afford to
16
panic. But
points.
not only that, even if you know this POI so well, you also know that when teams are already established on the mountain face, they're looking straight at
Ah,
everyone
X,
else.
il serait temps de mettre des damage.
Teams already trying to apply pressure, forced to drop,
Hey,
forced
Higgs
to
and
try,
Clicks,
make a play,
this is a
but
message
Higgs
on
got
you.
nowhere left to run to.
Go.
Everyone else is
Take
already
damage. Go far, bro. Go far.
and the surge will
Don't take the Storm Surge! Bro! Serious! Attends, comment on dit à chaque en anglais déjà?
Quoi?
À chaque. À chaque tournoi, mettons.
Every tournament.
Clicks and clicks, every tournament. Yes, you take the Storm Surge. For real, focus and go fight.
C'est mieux ta Kirok fucké avec Chino tranquille.
Ah, moi, tant qu'il n'y a pas d'avoc qui. Tant qu'il n'y a pas d'avoc qui crève, je suis content.
Non!
Chino, il est là?
Pablo. Non!
Pablo. Le duo sont morts?
Ouais.
Non!
Fuck. Kurama. Oh shit, Kurama.
Oh boy, Kurama il est dans le monde solide.
Man, il y a 30 de Nathan qui fait un kill.
Nathan on fire, hein.
4 t'as juste 64, t'as juste 60 de vie, là.
Non, Kurama il est vraiment dans la merde.
Faudrait que tu prennes un refresh.
Ouais, bon, le refresh il va attendre un peu, je pense. Bah oui, il se met la go pour 10 PV de plus.
Ritual tranquille.
Ok guys, Kurama peut actuellement mettre 4 de build. Il a 40 PV. La zone, je sais pas fait combien. Gros, la zone a fait combien?
Allez Marius.
Ok, la zone a fait à peu près du 5. Ouais ça, non on a fait 10.
Une attaque sur Kurama.
Oh, I drop qui est dead, Kurama qui est mort. Pas en attente, Freddy qui est mort. Homme de petit, Jay-Z, je sais pas c'est qui.
Il est Enzo,
ok, homme de... Non. Ah, Pix! J'ai compris Pixie. Mais, c'est un avoc pareil. Ah non, attends, la drop c'est pas fini,
Non, Marius, c'est encore là.
Ouais, mais je savais pas, moi.
Joshua Ali qui conteste le hype.
Oh, allez, Josh! Allez, Josh!
Pixie. Oh, on l'avait dit que Pixie allait avoir une good day, man.
Bâtard, tu m'as dit que Pixie était mort!
Non, c'est Pix, j'ai dit.
Ah merde. J'avais compris que Pixie aussi, il était mort.
Ouais, mais j'avais dit Pixie, mais je me suis trompé, je l'ai dit Pix.
Ok, c'est good d'avoir Pixie pas dead.
Wow, eux sont bien par contre.
Josh Riley, il est mort, gros. J'avais pas vu. Nathan, il est mort,
Sakara!
Oh! Allez, Pixie, allez! Oh! Allez, ça les gars! Suzy qui a pris un kill ici, Pixie qui prend un autre kill, qui a tué le Ghost. Et Hamza qui est mort.
Hamza qui est mort?
Oh, il se passe trop de trucs, gros. C'est dingue.
Joshua Ali qui est mort.
Bah oui, mais là t'es en retard, ça fait un bon 60 secondes qu'il est mort. Hamza qui est dead. Ok, c'est officiel, ils sont dead. Ok, top 6, guys, top 6. Je fais les Hamza qui sont morts. Hein?
Allez, Pixie.
Pixie, oh boy. Va pas là, Pixie. Non, va pas là.
Squeezie qui paraît kill.
Oh non, Adjust qui va die. Ok, gros, Virgo qui die, Adjust qui est mort.
Oh, attends.
2v2, gros. Il y a eu random contre Pixie, puis Squeezie. Non, Squeezie qui est dead. Let's go. Allez Pixie, allez, t'es capable Pixie. Allez Pixie, allez Pixie, ta gueule. Allez Pixie, allez. S'il te plaît.
Allez. Le boulot qui t'a fait.
Attends, spoil pas, j'ai rien vu. Oh, let's go. Pixie win, gros. Let's go, bro. Suzanne Pixie is gold, bro. Pixie Suzy gold, bro.
Attends, va aller Fortnite tracker.
Ah, gros. POV, POV was, vous êtes fort, puis que en ce moment là, let's go. Pas maintenant, gros, je suis en live, je suis en train de cast un tournoi FN actuellement. Mais cet après-midi ou ce soir peut-être pour ouais, je sais pas parler.
I was going to say that was such a difficult mountain zone for you. How did you manage to make it to the top and get out of that sticky situation?
I mean, we learned from our mistakes yesterday and we took priority on our rotate.
Il a fait le 1v2,
we fixed everything that did wrong yesterday and now we won the game.
Well, you get to leave the stage in just a moment, boys. What's the plan now to get ready for tomorrow?
Get on con, get our sewers,
take the eye, don't die.
And, probably take high and don't die.
Take high, don't get eliminated.
Take high, don't die.
It's really something we can all live by. Let's head to the break and after that, more Fortnite.
Take high, don't die, hein.
Take the eye, don't die. Ah non, j'ai une pub. C'est pas grave.
Je sais pas si j'ai une pub, mais le live il s'est juste comme arrêté. J'ai une putain de pub aussi.
Oups!
Pub
on est mélangé.
2 minutes.
Les nouvelles Kit Kat Mix-Up, complètement
quelques
mélangées.
secondes, mais je connais bien.
Faites la pause.
Ça fait c'est plus. 16 secondes de la... Ah ouais. Ah ouais, on n'est pas aimé par la société, hein, guys? Ok, 16 secondes, c'est déjà mieux.
Hey, je vais aller chercher la Greg. Je vais faim.
Même moi, gros, je vais chercher la Greg. Fait que, guys, on va se mute, puis je vous laisse sur le stream FN. Hein. Je me suis trompé de plug comme un con.
Les nouvelles Kit Kat Mix-Up, complètement
ouais, mais moi, ça sera pas long, là.
Faites la pause.
Moi, je vais me grade la petite tout, tu connais. Fait que je verrai pas les lives, guys, mais si vous avez le live FN anyway, dans le chat. Ah, c'est quoi? Je vais peut-être même faire de quoi. Voilà. Bon, mais à toutes, guys. Hop là.
C'était news sur ton live?
Absolute cinema! Levin! Didn't get out of the way. Levin, let's go! Swizzy! They did it! Oh my gosh,
Vic, tell them to post the stats now. All of you opportunists that were hating on Pixie in Grands, posting all your stats, post them now. My boy went crazy. Swizzy, sitting back watching, all the belief in the world. Because when you have a teammate that is flying, like Pixie was there, hitting every shot he needed, all the composure in the world, man. And again, this is why last year everybody Vivid was saying this guy is the best fragger in EU because of moments and performances like this.
Clutched up on one of the biggest stages Fortnite has to offer. Not only that, a lot of talk, right? Swizzy and Pixie didn't qualify through the upper bracket, man. Can they make the run to the lower bracket? Game one, that conversation is already finished. And I was worried coming into the day because I mentioned it, our global champions of last year, Queasy, Merstache, Swizzy. I was like, there's no way we can have a finals at Summit without any of them. And Swizzy shut me up real quick, clutched up game number one. They're going to finals.
Hey, and Vivid, that's 1 for 1 on the predictions.
1 for 1,
that's 1 for 1. We're looking good, bro. We're looking good.
Man, congratulations to them. That's the Swizzy and Pixie we kind of expected to see yesterday, but again, it's all good. They now focus on tomorrow's finals. We will not be seeing them compete again today, but that's okay. A big sigh of relief for the duo. That's all it takes, Viv. One good game like that, we see them rise up the standings, make it on through the finals.
Absolutely crazy stuff. Although there is a team, right? We were kind of expecting a big performance out of the duo there, but there was a team on the higher ground for the entirety of that end game that I feel like we did not expect a second place out of. It did look like they were going to win the game at one point. Danny Crush and Tiggs represent in the Middle Eastern region. We were kind of worried that we were like, man, are we going to get any of these smaller regions to qualify through finals? I mean, we had a handful come through the upper bracket. Is the lower bracket going to feature any? Immediately a second place spot. Yeah, they didn't get the win, but that puts them in such a great spot on the leaderboard.
I mean, big ups to Tiggs. Watching the highlights here, we see so many players with it. Some of the best players this game has ever seen. In situations like that, where you've run out of match, you've run out of everything, you just need a refresh. I've seen Prime Peterbot need a refresh at times, and he maybe just can't quite get it. Every single time at the end there, Tiggs needed to get the limb. He managed to just find the loot he needed to keep him going. Super unfortunate, again, not winning the 1v1 there, but still a great game for these two.
Hey, but check this out. Let's go down this list a little bit further, right?
Gosh.
Yamso, Josh, Agers in Ritual, them NA names we're used to seeing. I love seeing they're in that final game. We actually saw them be eliminated, but Yamso and Josh took that fight to the high ground. You know, Levin, this is so exciting to see them finally have that moment on stage. We get to see them in game, and I love that they're fearless.
I mean, this is a special day for these two. Because really and truly, again, when you're talking about some of the best teams in NA Vivid, these guys are up there. Josh in particular, his story is unbelievable. The fact that this guy is playing on this stage next to Clicks because he got a PC from Clicks, like that in itself is just madness to me, and a big start on the day, showcasing why this guy is seen as the next Peterbot in NA, the next big talent, the next big thing. He doesn't even look like the next big thing as far as talent-wise in NA. He has just been the best, right, at times, right? He's had so many great performances in Div Cups of late. Iomzo, we know what he can do. Seeing them do it on the stage in this first game was special, man. I'm really looking forward to seeing them continue to cook up.
Yeah, I picked up some solo points, as you can see there, and I got to tip my hat to do it because early on off spawn, obviously they are uncontested, but an early push, you know, towards their way, they overcame though, man. They got the elimination there, and it kind of snowballed into the late game. Obviously, we kind of saw where the zone ended up. It did pretty much land where they do land in the early game, but obviously, you know, sometimes these games are not easy to play out. They made it look easy.
Can't lie, man. I'm excited. Aegis Ritual. I'm looking. I need these guys to qualify on through, right? Seeing them already have this strong start. Remember, big reminder, the format today is you either get the Victory Royale, you win and you're in. That's it. You don't have to play any more games, or we need to end in the top 19. This is a very strong first start for the duo, Viv.
Absolutely. And as you can see early off here, Agers kind of left alone. And I feel like the story throughout the weekend, at least in these early couple of games, has always been the fact that there are just so many solos left alive in these lobbies. And making the most out of it is going to make the difference right there. As you can see, after he goes down, just feeling, you know, cool, calm, and collected. Hey, fist bumps all around. Feeling good.
I don't worry about these two at all. I think when you look at the talent, the experience, the quality, I think these guys, whether they win a game, whether it will be through consistency, I think these guys will make it back. I think the biggest worry for me is just I'm just looking to Sunday and looking to see them in a position again, contested at Latte. we're not going to learn much from them today because it's going to be a completely different situation if they're able to qualify. And so, again, hopefully we see them continue to play their game and just warm into things a bit more.
Couple of duos there, though. I'm a little worried about, right? We saw Clicks and Higgs follow the court, Akira, Kurama.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, look, again, it's just game one. I don't want to worry too much, but boys, we only have 5 more games, right? We need that VR. We need to be in top 19. Very, very tough, but it's all good because we've got game number 2 ready to go. Whatever happened in game number 1 doesn't matter. Every game can be a new game for these duos. So let's get ready to hop into game number 2.
One thing I can't help but notice here, though, Jacob, is the fact that some of our duos that weren't able to actually have that standout performance in game day number 1 have managed to succeed here in game day 2. So the best benefit of that, you know, duo like Ritual, Agers, I think that you have to remember they're already high up on the leaderboard. Now, if you want to get through on consistency, one more performance like that, and they're in it to win it.
Yeah, basically locked and loaded. And typically at this point in time, I'd be like, if a team wins, their drop spot is open. I'll tell you more about that in a second because game 2 is ready. As I was saying, usually a drop spot opens up when a team wins a game because they're no longer in the lobby. They advance directly to Championship Sunday. But if you look at where Pixie and Swizzy were landing, it was kind of a triple contested fight. So it's not going to get easier game 2.
Yeah, they already had plenty of company, but they managed to move out. They left everyone else behind. They'll worry about that for tomorrow. Vazen and Gerald, though, intent on contesting Epic Whale and Pump here at Riptides. But all that's going to do is extend an open invitation for the third-party scenario. All throughout Chapter 7, any teams that have been contesting each other at Riptides almost always results in both of them just getting wiped after the fact because it's such an easy position to get third-partied.
Yeah, especially with everyone around them uncontested. But Clicks and Higgs, they're going to go ahead and take that long glide strategy. They're going to go ahead and get the top side of Wonky Land. You kind of saw there in a second on the map. King and Phaser are already down there on the south side of Wonky Land, already trying to loot up. That gives them a little bit of a timing advantage over Clicks and Higgs. So if they get a loadout, in theory, Taco, we can see them play aggressive. But I drop with 1 elimination. But y'all will notice Marius is down.
Some unfortunate stuff, but sometimes the bus path does happen to work against you. And for other players in the lobby, they're always going to be looking up the moment that they touch down, trying to lock in that early surge. Chap, victimized yet again. Bon and Knight are really trying to deliver a lot of fight here at New Sanctuary. This southeast portion of the map just so active because even over towards the southwest, Epic Whale Pump, they're still trying to see whether or not they can even start this engagement with Gerald and Vazen.
Yeah, and you're talking about other players moving on over. That's going to be Nathan on the top side of Riptides. He's forced out because Muzz and Sphinx were able to get that first elimination onto Nebs, but that just kind of puts Epic Whale and Pump in the middle, distracted by 2 different opportunities. The main focus is going to be the OCE town down below of Vazen and Gerald, where they have to watch out for any lurk plays. If they lose sight of them, that could be the end.
It's always hard to keep track of where exactly the lobby is moving towards, but for Giannis Cheatin, anytime you see that flow berry miss grenade, you know there's a duo surrounding it, Xavier and Cazers. First time on the big stage, but they are still looking to try and pop off, really make a name for themselves. But those gray loadouts, not exactly what you want to be rocking up against some of EU's finest.
Yeah, we're already seeing some teams switch up drop spots, not necessarily going toward Dark Dominion where Swizzy and Pixie just qualified out of. We're seeing them drop at little points all around the map. Even Giannis cheating, taking a different approach to this game. Instead of staying at studios to get their elims, they immediately are moving on out. Skyjump, Momsy, they find themselves in a pickle against Xpawn and Doxy. 2v2 situation, and Xpawn's gonna get that first knock onto Skyjump. Needs the elimination for the Siphon. HP is dwindling, but he has a couple of seconds. He has his teammate by his side. Momsy's gonna spray through the builds. He's gonna pre-fire to get that elim, leaving Momsy with no choice. He has to run and disengage for a second chance at life.
Normally when you see players lose like all of their HP, you expect them to just pull back. Xpawn was having none of it. He said, you want to step up to me? Momsy tried his best, threw his name into the hat, but he just wasn't ready to witness his duo fall. Just 3 back-to-back humps, and that is really all it takes for X-Spawn to bring down Skyjump.
They really had him pincered, 2 different angles. He is literally just throwing haymakers to stay alive, but Ju and Badil, 18 points from game 1. It's not where they have hoped to land on the leaderboard, but it's about slowly but surely building up that confidence. When we look at consistency, it's going to be the top 19. They are just outside of that as of now, but King and Craze, they're looking to advance on a Cheatin' and Flixie. First elimination, that one's going to be easy. Cheatin' was left by himself. You can see King and Craze just dissected Giannis and Flixie to get the eliminations. Or I should say Cheatin', sorry.
Yo.
Crazy and King Lane, they'll still have more work cut out for them, but 2 eliminations to round things off, that's always a nice little confidence builder. Granted, those 2 definitely had plenty of it even heading into today's competition.
Vont être quoi en finale? Puis il va y avoir les 20 autres vont être les 19. Je pense que c'est les 19 autres. Eux qui vont être à la régulier, les 19 premiers vont être là.
To bring forth here today. Yesterday, things a little bit shakier, a little bit more difficult, but even with Agers being a bit under the weather, his gameplay here today isn't looking like it.
Yeah, especially being uncontested. You played with a whole
Flixie est mort.
freedom knowing you got the entire POI to yourself. With 1 elimination, they know Jonas is going to be by himself. 2v1, trying to attack from both angles, jumping up and down, not trying to let him heal, not trying to let him get a breath of fresh air, and another shot from Agers can connect. Tries to spray into the box, not enough to get the knock, but him and Ritual are side by side. They're working together to make sure that they both don't take too much damage, but they're still in position to clean up this elimination.
And what's wild to think about is Ritual and Agers, they're fighting for their spot to try and get that rematch up against Reed and Cooper in tomorrow's finals. Agers still trying to see if he can finish what he started here, and sure enough, Ritual's going to get the cutoff points there onto Jonas. 2 eliminations now for this duo, and a lot of wiggle room here because Latte Landing is wide open.
Yeah, and this is a team that you don't want to see get heated up, because when they start going, they are hard to stop. And now that they got their early game surge with those 2 eliminations, they're going to go back on over to Latte Landing. They have plenty of heals. They have a good enough amount of gold where they can use that mending machine, which allows them to overstay their welcome and use that long launch pad towards the back.
Oh, you can see it coming. Pablo waiting for the piece up, and sure enough, nowhere left for Minifio to run. What a box in, and Chino, the other half of the duo, standing out here on his own accord. A great set of eliminations for these 2.
Yeah, all it takes is getting caught off guard 1 simple second. And that's what we've seen, you know, for the past couple of months. A lot of these lurk plays come into action, especially when players with these new surge changes, they're kind of just boxed up. They're in their towers, they're at their POI, and they don't expect to get snuck up on. And more it continues to work and find success here in this game. But just like I was talking about, Agers and Rituals, long launch pad, Josh and Iamso have the same thing. It takes you further, it takes you farther. You throw the Fizz in the mix, and you can across the map, but Xavier, Sazers, they're trying to sneak attack onto Liam, and that first one looked like it was gonna work, but Liam turns, he burns him down, leaving Xavier by himself. 2v1 situation. They were confident before the game for a reason.
This is the nightmare scenario now, because that should have been it. Liam, though, he might still wind up being knocked here if he's not careful. Xavier is still just fighting, maybe even to restore a little bit of pride after that one. You think that you get the sneak attack, instead it's 180.
Jace instantly dropping that Fizz bomb. They're not in the zone just yet, so HP, you can see them trying to get the elimination, save it for the Siphon, but it's getting a little bit too risky. Liam 1 shot away from going down by Xavier, so he's instantly trying to pop that Chug, and they're not necessarily pressed right now to move quick. They're outside of the zone, not taking damage, and they have about 20 seconds before the zone forces them in, but they have to be careful. Another team in the distance, and that's gone in Night, and they've already switched up their drop spot. They contested Chap and Flixie, they eliminate him out of this game, and now they're ready to do it again here.
But if you're Liam and Jace, you don't have any reason to leave anytime soon. You know that Xavier is a solo. You know that you have more than enough white heals to actually extend your time inside of the storm. And not only that, but why not get more surge if you can? An isolated solo is going to be your best bet for another points opportunity off the elimination. Xavier trying to see just how much time he can really bide here, but Liam, Jace, they are feeling very aggressive, and I can't blame them. I mean, trying to sneak up on me?
Yeah, for Liam and Jace, though, I agree with you. At first, when it was a 2v1, you got to kind of take the fight. But the longer this one goes, Xavier is actually landing shots back. So even if they get this elimination, Taco, what does that do to their surge plan? Especially since Gone and Knight are still waiting just outside of this fight to beat anybody that breaks through those builds. So Liam and Jace, they have to make a decision, and they have to make a decision quick if this fight is worth it.
Could be possible for them to just opt for a further east rotation. You try and avoid where Gone and Knight are actually situated. Sometimes you gotta look elsewhere, somewhere that has opened up just a little bit. It's going to be Dark Dominion, but it is bumping as ever. So many teams already in this POI. And for Koyota and Yuma, I think there's a lot of questions up in the air. Are they going to be able to have some of that practice game success? We saw them collect at least an extra bando off of delivering a victory royale in that performance, but this is the best time to do it. I mean, you want to be in the finals.
Yeah, and typically we kind of look at these guys. So when it comes to these international lands, they usually have some tricks up their sleeve. They're probably trying to save it for finals, but boys, we got to make it there. This is going to be your best chance as we go back on over towards New Sanctuary. Liam and Jace, they're still busy off the side of the map, but Salco and Minute have now gained the attention of Gone and Knight inside of the New Sanctuary. And Minute and Salco went down last game because of Storm Surge. They're not trying to make the same mistake twice, but he overpeaks. Knight lands a good shot, punch after punch. They're just taking too much damage before Salco answers back with a shot of his own.
That's going to be enough to deter Gone and Knight, waiting to see whether or not they'll be able to actually continue this conversation. But there's still a decent amount of fighting left to be done here at New Sanctuary, because even the situation a little bit further southeast has seemingly cleared up. And I have to expect that that was very likely Liam and Jace finally finishing that elimination onto Xavier.
Now we can see if it's worth it when we tune into them. When Storage Surge pops up, Epic Whale and Pump, even without that elimination at Riptide, you see them immediately try to rotate out of the zone. They know so many players usually do rotate around Battlewood, through Riptides, and even towards the north of Humble Hills, and they're just trying to get as much surge as possible. But just like I was talking about Liam and Jace in that fight, if you keep trading shots, not getting elims and not getting the better, you're going to end up in a position like this. You're above the damage threshold, but only by 49.
It's really just the damage ratios that have been the peak storyline for this weekend, because teams that are just eating as many shots as they're sending out, it's difficult to try and stay even. But right now, Clicks, Higgs, utilizing everything they can off the map itself. A bit of a campfire, try and get some restoration here. They've got pizzas, they've got med kits. And it looks like they're fully intending on trying to make a dead side approach, or they might be looking to see if they can find Pix and Ghosts, who are known for sticking around in surge bases deep from toy box docks.
Yeah, and 186 damage, that's good for now. But as the game progresses, they're going to need to find just a little bit more. Salco, Minute, they fall further and further below that damage threshold. 394, essentially 2 full eliminations here are going to be needed by the team from NA West. And we know Minute, he's a good fighter. Salco, he can lead the pack, but right now it's go time, because when that Storm Surge activates, they're going to be on the clock to try to get some damage or the elimination. Salco breaks into the box, good damage on the Gone. He gets saved by Minute, but only for so long before Knight trades on that down. So it is going to come down to a 1v1. Minute looking to play aggressive, and it's going to be worth it.
But he might not even get to reap the benefits of this survival, because the third party has already decided to play an entrance here. Minute scrambling, trying to see if he can escape, but so much focus being sent his way, and now having to also deal with the surge itself. He doesn't even get a chance to try and heal up.
Just unfortunate, almost 500 below. They get one knock, they get another elim back to back from Minute, but he's still 229 below. That was just disaster waiting to happen. And this is where I say you just got to take as much control of your game plan as early as possible. And I think from the online majors to here, we're seeing more and more teams rotate to the zone early on so they can get the position and not have to get that max goal.
It's always just a little bit rough when you do finally win such a drawn-out battle, and then if it's not the third party fully clearing you up, you're still having to deal with the likes of Surge. But these are the sorts of adaptations that players just have to naturally try and overcome here. As Nathan, he'll at least have a little bit of surge to work with, but the clock's ticking. He's got to make it into zone too, and there is a decent amount of traffic in front of him.
Yeah, he's just barely above, and honestly, that's actually pretty good for what Nathan and Nebs have been through so far in this game, being above the damage thresholds. A little bit of survives, but a pleasant surprise at that. Kurama and Akira, again, just barely above 73. That's not much, and that shot is surely going to put him below. GR Rex, surprise attack out of nowhere. Kurama just going to get the shot from the side, but even though they get that elimination, they are now still below the damage threshold, and there's other players pressuring in this direction, not wanting to let them get full HP and shield.
They want to see whether or not they'll have an opportunity to try and take out Momentum, but instead they're fully aware of the fact that there is action taking place just a little bit right from where they're currently faced up. Josh and Yamzo, though, find their first elimination onto Golden. They were above on Surge. It's really just about finding the perfect moment. You don't want to get lobbied on your next rotate in.
Yeah, this team right here is a little bit of a full circle moment of Josh and Iamzo. Years ago, Iamzo kind of being that fragger for Rise in the mix, getting close to the FNCS championship. And now Iamzo is that IGL, picking up the young fragger in Josh, who honestly has clicks to thanks for obviously his career to those clicks who got on the PC and really started his whole trajectory. So for Iamzo and Josh, this needs to be
possible que non, j'en ai aucune idée, je vais pas te mentir, mais
trailing just a little bit behind. Baser and Gerald were just spotted
parce
here
que
at
dans le fond, il y a un de mes abonnés, un GOAT, tu vois, m'a demandé si j'allais jouer genre tantôt.
Bon, on pourrait, mais après les summits.
Après, ça c'est son prêt, mais après les summits. Mais je sais pas combien de temps les summits vont durer.
Ben, ça va jusqu'à 4 heures à peu près.
Jusqu'à 4 heures?
3 heures. 3 heures, 4 heures.
Ouais, je vais peut-être prendre une pause à Manille, pas pour jouer, mais juste genre aller un peu dehors, tu vois. Parce que, tu sais, moi je sors dehors, là,
moi avec je de faire ça.
Ah ouais, tu sors dehors, toi, c'est quoi l'extérieur?
Hey, laisse-le!
C'est trop facile. La balle était tout simplement trop easy, genre.
To everybody in this lobby,
Non,
just about.
comment
There is so
Click,
much
man,
congestion that
Click,
is
c'est
already
squirreront
full
pas, man.
on this
Quoi?
edge of the zone, but
Click, ils vont pas squirrer.
find his own way forward here.
Non, gros, il joue trop passif.
They took the scenic route to make it into zone, but they're having to deal with so many surge issues and
C'est en mode je déteste tout le monde, tu vois. C'est comme avant, mais gros, tu rushes pas.
sour ending here in game 2.
Après ça, tu te demandes pourquoi tu gagnes pas des fins CS.
Doesn't matter where you're at on the leaderboard. All you need to do is win a game, and as Frankie said, that's your golden ticket directly to Championship Sunday. But the pressure could be felt all around the arena today. When these players go down, you can feel it, Taco. The passion kind of playing out as Mary's and I drop. They're feeling it as well. 12 below. It isn't much, but Storm Surge, you don't go down.
E-boy. E-boy. Oh, il est mort.
He has 2 ticks he can take. Less than 14 seconds. I drop has to make a play, but it gets denied.
He just did not have enough HP. It was.
Oh, il y a le pompe mythique.
I don't want to say impossible, but it basically was, Jacob. At least he did the best with what he could. Still, they need to find more after the fact. But for everybody else still left in this lobby, the Nikos Tigs, they came in second in game 1. They're obviously trying to see if they can secure that win. They've been feeling very confident from 100 ping to 0. Now is their best chance to strike. Is Velo working his way in? Backside of zone, everybody looking his way though. Doesn't really have a whole lot of options, and he'll be picked off before he gets the chance.
Yeah, big elim though for Video and
Oh, mettez-moi l'air de Vadil aussi.
Elimination of the game. That's 12 points straight off of their aggressive ability, and now they're inside of the top 25. Placement points are starting to come in, and with each and every team that falls, they start to cascade further and further, and of course, you get that 1,000 points for the victory royale. And it goes to show that looking at the leaderboards yesterday, I saw a team qualify to Sunday. It's just 3 decent games, but it doesn't feel like that in the moment.
Feel and Gino really did best there, though, was front side of zone, and they cleared a path for themselves. Everyone else is going to have to run straight to them, and they're doing a great job at just gatekeeping that edge of zone they were at. But Lucy Zangi will have a lot to overcome. They want to make it in, but it seems like disaster has struck. We look away for 1 second, Jacob, and all of a sudden, it's Fadil by himself. He at least has the pizza box to work with, but Stroke, Roberts, Toyota, they're all making their way forward. And for what looked like a solid spot to be in, now might be worst case scenario. But Fadil, we've seen this all a bunches before.
Yeah, and it's only 4 players that need to go down. You can attempt to out-heal this Pacino. He doesn't have the amount of heals needed to survive the Storm Surge. For now, it is going to be the med kit, but the zone is also moving in. But he gets a little bit of a cutback, extra time to work with, and it's time that he desperately needs because he's in on a clock, and that clock is running down fast. 3 more takes. That's all he can take. Less than 20 seconds. Chino has to make a move. Nobody's falling taco. 4 players, and Storm Surge is no longer a worry.
And Chino, he's trying to see if he can get the shot, but he won't make it. A player lying in wait. He'll go down, but Fadil still keeping the ball rolling here. 187 above, 1 pizza slice, 1
En vrai, en termes de points, Vador, il est bien.
Oui, Poda, c'est tout en DI.
Quoi?
Poda, c'est tout en DI.
C'est quoi en DI?
Waiting to see if he can deliver
another big
win here, but Akira and Karama, they've at least found Liam, and that'll be enough to buy them some good time.
It feels like they're not forcing fights or eliminations. They're kind of letting the game naturally present itself. There goes
Bon, même Kurama et Akira sont trop bien. Imagine c'est French qui gagne.
Ouais, mais là, Akira, il est dead. Fadil qui fait le kill.
J'ai l'impression qu'en ce moment, Vador, il est vraiment good.
Ouais, non, mais là, le problème, c'est qu'il n'y a plus
Flex, je pense que c'est mort pour toi.
Moi, je pense que ça va être Poda qui va être top 1.
Ah. Probablement c'est pas, mais pour de vrai, il y en a qui ont mis Flex first, pour moi non.
Oh, Kurama qui tue Poda!
Going down below. Kodasi's gonna fall. Nutty and
Gapzetta,
they went ahead and shockwave to take the high ground. There's a new team high up in the clouds that everybody has to worry about. Cut through the middle is gonna be King and Rage, just trying to take position on the front side of the zone. Meanwhile, Fadil and Kurama are doing their best here. They're one of few solos actually left in this game. As long as they can stay towards the front side, they might be able to make it out. Ritual and Aegis
Kurama, c'est le meilleur joueur manette français, me semble.
Ouais, il est tellement régulier.
Ritual only has 1 build remaining, but Fadil, he's found his target. He won't be able to bring it out though, and that's going to be the end of the run here.
Virgo
and Kindling though still making their way forward.
Yep, Nutty Gapzetta is just not letting anybody down below feel comfortable, especially for the players on second night. As Virgo looking to go big, lands that 1 shot, but being by yourself means you have to play a little bit careful and a little less loose. Down below, those eliminations get steamrolled by King and Praise, but again, it all comes with a sacrifice. Now Praise is going to be left by himself. They have 5 eliminations. They're trying to push themselves into the top 5, and every single point matters. With Aegis of Ritual, they're going to get that elimination, but again, it costs them as well.
Ritual and Aegis thought they had that frontside control, but you just can't afford to look away. Now Virgo, they're trying to send it onto high. Karama has fallen. Virgo won't make it out. Nudie and Gapzetta might just be finding themselves in the final push, Jacob. All they need to do is seal the deal here up against Ritual.
Hey, he's going to take the fight to that first shockwave. Oh my, that was big. Nudie and Gapzetta, they clutch up and take the game back.
New team, Gapzetta, please stand up, let's celebrate this win. What an incredible performance from you, New team. Talk to me about those last moments. You did it as a duo.
Yes, I said that we're going to win, and we did it.
You absolutely did. You had so much confidence when you spoke to me earlier, and you only told me the truth. Gapzetta, you're going to Championship Sunday. You're representing Brazil. How does it feel?
Gapzetta, vocês ganharam. Vão representar o Brasil na final. Como você se sente?
Me sinto realizado novamente estar representando o Brasil novamente num palco gigantesco que é a FNCS. E é isso, vamos Brasil!
I'm so happy, I'm so accomplished right now, and just let's go Brazil.
Let's go, Brazil! Would you like to hear the crowd in Düsseldorf, Nuti?
What?
Would you like to hear the crowd, what they think of you here? All right then, Düsseldorf, what do you say? Do you like these guys? We can see the Brazilian flags above. We've got Brazilian fans behind us, and we've got Brazilian fans watching around the world. Congratulations, new team Gapzera. We'll see you tomorrow, and we'll see you after the break.
I've played sports my whole life. I'm super competitive. I've never felt like emotions like Siege does in those clutch scenarios. I realized that the numbers were kind of dwindling down. My teammates started dying, you know, and then at the very end, I mean, it was just a 1v1 duel, and, you know, your heart's beating, the adrenaline's pumping. You're praying that you hit that shot.
Rainbow Six Siege X, get free access now.
Want a twist on breakfast? Try the new DQ Breakfast Collection, like new Cinnamon Toast Crunch Dip Cone, new Fruity Pebble Shake, and the new Choco Frosted Donut Blizzard Treat. The new Breakfast Collection, here for any time of day, but not for long.
Say hello to the Ninja Slushie. The easy, convenient way to make frozen drinks at home, from summer days to cozy nights. The Ninja Slushie is here.
Mâcher la gomme 5, c'est une expérience sensorielle. Stimulez vos sens.
Hey, coudonc, t'es un oiseau rapide en titi, toi.
Ben, je bois du Red Bull.
Mais tu sais quand même que...
Oui, je sais, Red Bull donne des ailes. Mais moi, j'ai le vertige.
Oh, je vais pas te mentir, j'en avais marre d'avoir mon ordi genre littéralement sur mes genoux et tout ça. Quand j'étais couché dans mon lit avec mon ordi genre
Summer Edition. Au goût
sur moi, j'en avais marre, j'ai ramené la chaise quoi.
Des ailes pour votre été. Aussi offert sans sucre.
Aujourd'hui, je vous présente un mot qui se répand dans l'usage comme une graine de pissenlit portée par le vent. Haute éclosion. Tout a commencé le jour où l'enseignante de 2e secondaire s'est pointée à l'école avec une coiffure magistrale. Une tignasse royale. Elle avait subi une beauté éclosion.
Transformation progressive et perceptible par laquelle une personne s'épanouit, devient plus attirante et gagne en confiance.
C'est quoi, gars?
Fortnite fam, welcome back to the Summit. Big game here in game number 2. Congratulations to Nuti and Gabzera, and vamos Brazil! We got a big victory royale. We got the co-streamers losing their minds over here after that big W, and of course for the duo Viv, this is such a big moment.
And this is why this format is just so great. Coming from the upper bracket, of course, yesterday, it's incredible. When you take a look at their match history yesterday, they had one good game, which was a 6th place, which of course was not enough to kind of break them into that top 25. Outside outside of that 6th place game, they didn't even break the top 20. Like it was a complete fumble from them yesterday. And then you come into today, the first game from them was pretty good. They got 10th place. Obviously, the highlight for them is going to be the second game where they held the higher ground, won the game.
Yeah, I really like the way they took height as well. A typical height take for this meta. They, of course, went into the storm, used those overdrive grenades, combined with that miss, easily took height on Podesai and Shadeau, who just had to give it up at that point. And it's not easy from here on out, especially when the zone pulls back through these old builds. It can be really difficult for that height team to not get caught out, but some really nice shots for these guys.
Absolutely, and I'm not going to lie, Ritual obviously gets one knock right there in the 1v2. I got to be careful because I almost lost my voice. Absolutely screamed there. Made it scary for GabZero and Nuthi, but they obviously ended up clutching up. Super excited to see them go straight into finals. Yeah, man, and you got to think about that interview super early on at the start of the show, right? GabZero saying, hey, look, I'm looking to represent Brazil. I'm going to do my best. And sure enough, Game 2 victory royale. Oh man, I cannot wait to see what they bring tomorrow in the finals. Reminder, we're not going to be seeing them for the rest of the games, right? They got their cards straight on through. For everyone else, they're playing for top 19.
Yeah, nice to see. Did you have them in your predictions, Vivid?
Okay, Minnie, really? No, I did not.
You were like, yeah, 1 for 1, we're looking good.
Yeah.
I actually had them in my predictions, we just didn't show it.
Oh,
yeah, we didn't show it. Yeah, sorry, mate.
Me too.
Yeah, I like this format, though. I really like the way that, of course, they can walk off the stage, all the fans right next to the co-streamers. They were showing them so much love, so that feeling they must have had right there is unreal. Excited to see what happens at their drop spot right now, because that leaves that area down towards the south uncontested. Fellow Brazilian team, Gone and Night, maybe they move over there. Will they have that same success? Because, of course, they land just next door that are contested, so maybe they'll make the switch.
I'm happy that you're still kind of talking about those smaller region teams. I remember yesterday we saw a stat that flown. It was like in game number 5, it was like, oh yeah, like 64% of the time an NA team has held the high ground. The other 36% of the time an EU team has held the high ground. Yeah. We need to run that stat again right now because it's completely flipped for sure. I mean, we saw Tiggs from the Middle Eastern region kind of control the higher ground in the first game. Right here, we got Nuthi and GabZero, both small region teams controlling the higher ground. I got to see that stat. I agree, dude. You know what? In that last game, obviously, Ritual placing second. Dude, Richie was moving at the end. I really thought, yo, wait, Richie, hold on. You're in your flow state. You're going to make it happen. Obviously, just didn't have the HP to work with, but they're doing so well in consistency right now.
Yeah, they are. Really important game for these guys. Yeah, they didn't win. Yeah, of course, it was a second place. But in terms of consistency, they're going to be looking really good on that leaderboard. I feel like Richie doesn't get enough credit for his ability, Vivid. I feel like a lot of NA doesn't give him enough of that credit for his fragging ability because he's solid. I mean, making these plays really consistently in the end game, finding those eliminations. 1v2 against Hype right here. He gave it a good go, though.
Super close. It's the clean shot right there. Unfortunately, the return shot just made all of the difference right there. And look at him, he's upset. He's like, dude, I was so close. But yeah, after Agers goes down, who is often coined as kind of like the fragger of this duo, he was able to pick up those 1v1 situations on the low gun. Super clean. I'm not gonna lie, as we were watching the game and both of these guys were kind of healthy on the low gun, I was like, oh yeah, they won. Agers gets knocked there. Ritual still puts up a great performance. They pick up second place. Well, I want to take a look at these standings, man. Remember, we're trying to be top 19 in consistency or walk away the victory royale. Look at this.
Wow.
What once started mostly EU dominated. Not no more. Shadow Virgo jumping up right there, but look, not that far behind, right? Akira Karama up 10 placements, guys. It's starting to heat up. Great game for Akira and Karama to kind of come back there. As you can see, they went up 10 placements. I think so. Some crazy stuff kind of happening off spawn for them, unfortunately. So, I mean, obviously, it's not, you know, haltering them too much. They're making it to the end games as it currently stands. Drop it down. Remember, at the end of the day, Mini, we have to be top 19 because we already have 16 going through victory royale.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. I'm looking at Chino and Pablo Wingu just on that border right now. A team that a lot of people would have looked at, potential champions at the end of the weekend. Difficult off-spawn situation for them. That whole POI, so many teams coming on in, trying to get to those vending machines. It's just a little bit awkward right now. I'm sure they'll be navigating that in different ways. Podesai and Shadeau there on that leaderboard, just breaking into that top 10. They went up, was it 38 places there? Unbelievable stuff from them, and that's what one game can do.
One game, that is all it takes. But right now, game 3 is ready. So, casters, over to you.
Ouais.
What's going on, everybody out there? Game 3, we had to bring one of mine and Taco's duos, mine from the past and west, yours in EU, Takata, to join us on stage.
Great to be back. I was getting a little sick of the guys on the desk, you know, so I had to come back to my home
Il me
turf
semble qu'il est
here
grand
at the
contrairement aux deux
casting
autres.
booth, and I'm ready to get started here.
Yeah, I mean, things have already been getting pretty rowdy at the start of day 2, and
Game
I'm sure
3.
that the action is just going to keep delivering because game 3 right on the horizon, and I'm sure anybody can bring it home. So let's see who takes it.
These games are moving quick. 2 of them already down. 3rd game of the day. After this one, we'll be at the halfway point of day 2, where it really shows where you're at on the leaderboard and what you have to do.
Big things coming to mind. I mean, we had some surprise cons with Akira Kurama and North Boulevard. Same thing that actually happened in the EU Grand Finals leading up to this
Oh
event.
my
Also
god,
now
ça a pas été long.
with Nudie Gabzera
Shit,
already
man.
qualified. Maybe
C'est
another
tout,
Brazilian duo will take over their
pour la
spot.
fin des
We're going to
games.
kick things off in the Frigid Fortress, and it's not going to take long.
Now, Podesai just barely managed to escape, but he runs straight into Gladius, who finishes the job for iDrop. Shadeau and Podesai just cannot withstand. The practice is really paying off big time here.
Yeah, these fights just getting wild. Yanis again
En
returning
fait,
back.
c'est
Not
ça,
going over
Podesai
towards
en
Sub Studios
pas
this
plus
time
longtemps.
around. Contesting on top of the rock.
Non.
That's what you gotta do sometimes.
Ça a
But it
duré
is
genre 3
1v1
secondes.
at one that Janis will win. Alright, punching up big.
Great way to close
Ouais.
it out. Going to pick up his teammate there as we
Là,
move
d'après moi, dans
on
la tête, ils disent
over
OK, on gagnera pas.
to the other side of the map. It's going to
Ben
be
là,
us,
le...
Nathan, Nebs.
ben, il était 9ème, mais là, ils vont
There's a long
revenir
battle
dans le top 20.
Wasn't Sphinx were looking for the fight. They made that very clear. But when you tell your opponent the game plan, Nebs, Nathan, they might have actually cooked something up for it. And at least for right now, even with Sphinx having gone down, it seems like Muzz is going to at least be able to
Après ce
play for
game-là,
the
il y a une
revive.
pause.
And Nathan Nebs, they'd rather play a little bit more passive and prioritize controlling the actual POI.
Yeah, it almost makes you feel like they're not even the ones that got the knock. You'd almost be certainly sure that they would chase over, try to get that E-limb. But hey, when the dust settles, at least Muzz and Sphinx get a second chance here to go back on over towards Riptide. Something that we saw in that last game. We saw a little bit in the first game between Epicwell and Pump and Vazen and Gerald on the other side. It starts off as a little bit of a split, but as the game goes on, we typically see third parties come in.
It's not peaceful for Vives, though, with Visuals and Braids on their backs.
Mais ça,
Quick
c'est quoi?
eliminations
C'est
getting
42,
picked
c'est quoi
up.
ce petit?
Not a fun start.
C'est beau.
This is a duo that originally
C'est
was
une
going to
team sûrement à cause de
Pixie and
l'eSport
Swizzy,
World
Dark
Cup.
Dominion. We saw how that ended in game 1. Now getting E-limbed off spawn, they're going to have to pick things up for the second half of this tournament.
And it's not too surprising to see teams willing to try and mix it up, especially since we are technically at the halfway point for the day. If you don't find yourself with a victory royale, you can still try and bank on at least being in that consistency metric for top 19.
See so many early game fights. A couple players just trying to disengage, using the shockwaves or the gauntlets to try to create space, but it doesn't work. Kraze actually chases somebody underneath. He not only gets the E-limb, but you saw that little kind of new thing you don't see very often, the unstable molecule. Now he's going to get access to a rare chest in the middle of that.
But Deal, I already hear the excitement from the crowd, and he's just looted.
Chino
Hold that thought, though,
encore.
because Chino, he's just getting started. Quick knock. Pablo now disengaging as he's almost cracked. Has to be careful. His teammate, though, completely locked in. Going to give him a bit of time to heal on up. Salco, it is not looking good for you, my friend, as Chino continues with the push.
But Chino and Pablo, they are just a powerful duo to contend with, and knowing that you've already lost on the initial exchange, and with another duo crouch creeping up behind, it's Shadow and Virgo looking to take full advantage of what's been kicking off here. Salco is finished. No opportunities left in this match for that team, but Shadow, Virgo, they still want more. They want to see if they can take out Chino and Pablo with it.
Yeah, especially with that elimination on the Salco. Probably didn't net them much surge in that exchange. So they're going to continue to get aggressive. One up below. One on the wall, but Pablo can be the expert here in this fight, lurking around, trying to get a shot from above, and there he goes! A massive haymaker onto Shadow. Pablo, Chino, they have a chance to turn the fight as Pablo gets back to back exact shots to change the tides of this fight.
There's a reason Pablo and Chino are some of the best on EU. As they do have to be careful though with the third party coming through. I mean, Shadow Virgo, some of the most confident fighters in North America, but the tables, they just turn too quickly.
The problem with that though, Chino and Pablo, they didn't have a whole lot of materials, and yet they just got an absolute loot llama because Shadow and Virgo were stacked. So even with one of them escaping, you still gained plenty of a refresh for Chino and Pablo after the fact, but now Clicks, Higgs, a little bit of a rough time to kick off the day. But the scenes can change at any moment, and when you know that there are duos fighting against each other like Mumsy and Skyjump, well, Higgs and Clicks, they're willing to try and send some shots their way.
Yeah, especially since you kind of realize what caused their downfall in that last game, and throughout the day one as well, it's just a lack of surge, lack of that early game damage. And I think Venno kind of spoke about it when he was doing the Telestrator. When you're sitting in the same spot month after month, tournament after tournament, teams start to take notice. They don't traverse through that side of the map anymore, making it harder for teams like Clicks and Higgs to find their early game surge. Really forces them to go on the hunt for it, even though it's Higgs trying to third party this fight, just get any damage. He's not necessarily looking for a full elimination. He's just looking to see what he can get.
Yeah, the issue is, if we look back yesterday at the upper bracket, Shark Teeny, they won 3-1 in the off spawns against Clicks Higgs. And it's interesting because all the fights that Shark and Teeny were doing, they were finishing them incredibly fast. Whereas the one Clicks to come took a while. But let's take a quick look at what Denny Kush and Tiggs are up to. It's Shadow ultimately falling.
I think it's great to be more proactive. Shadow and Virgo had the right idea. It's really just about the execution. When they found that first component of the elimination onto Salco, they just got a little too greedy with it. They didn't fully know what kind of position Chino and Pablo were in terms of HP differences, but that might have been enough to at least thwart him for Mini Theo to try and pick up after the fact, because that elimination feed showed Chino in it.
Yeah, it's just a tough way to things boil down to we're seeing in that last game multiple wipes of full duos. We've seen full eliminations, and it kind of led to teams still being below the damage threshold. The longer and longer fights go, sometimes when you continue to trade shots, it's not necessarily the best of the situation, even if you get the eliminations. But see how it all played out. Chino trying to learn underneath. Cocoon was able to get that elimination, catches him sneaking, and now a whole nother team, Repairs and Fast Roki, are going to take down Pablo next.
This is not what you like to see if you're a European fan for Pablo and Chino. On the other end, I mean, Repairs is actually playing with a backup player for Strokey, so they haven't had as much time to kind of build that chemistry as a duo, but I mean, looks like so far this match might be that turning point for them.
But even as a newer pairing, Strokey is still a veteran at the game. He has so much experience in these kinds of environments specifically, and that sort of leadership can definitely extend himself into a positive direction. They've had a decent day already, and they're just looking to try and see whether or not they can circumvent the rest of these games, find that victory royale and close things out, make it to finals.
That's such an interesting stat right there that popped up. And Kira and Kurama are the only team worldwide, by the way, to win 3 games in that second chance qualifier just to make it there. And this is why we're always talking about warm-ups, being tested right now. Sometimes those are the trials and tribulations you need to go through to get better at the end of the day.
They also have a favorable zone here, and another duo that has a favorable zone is Yuma and Koyoda. Now, if you're Yuma Koyoda, Game 1 was a miracle for you, having the team that's contesting you instantly qualify and be good to go now, giving you that freedom at the drop spot. Issue is, in terms of points, not looking too great. Hopefully, they'll be able to turn it around.
Part of their struggles are still trying to contend with the other duos that are making use of those collision corridors, though. It's very difficult to actually try and take over what's above ground and what's below. So with that in mind, Yuma and Koyoda, they've still got a lot of work cut out for them, but Agers and Ritual, night and day difference from how yesterday went for these two. They've already basically done enough in terms of the consistency metric, but it's more than that for these two. They want to make a statement. They want to find a win.
Laughing to myself right now, Taco, because I was going to say that exact same thing. A night and day difference from Ritual and Agers. Hey, the wonders a good night's sleep can do, especially if you're one of the most prepared teams. Day one, sometimes you stumble, but it's not about how you fall. It's about how you pick yourself back up. And Agers, Ritual,
faire
they're
ton
doing
tel.
that perfectly today.
Yeah, I mean, not only Sleep also now being uncontested, right? That latte going from being con to on-con definitely helps a lot. And you can see what they are truly capable of when they can execute on their original strategies and plans going into this tournament, as Josh Riley and Iamzo are going to take their rotate.
Eyedrop and Medius started off this match with a really nice off-spawn cleanup onto Podesai and Shadeau. And will that be the catalyst for these two? Because we've seen them at least making it somewhat into the end games, but the placements, there's still more left to be desired. And they're actually going to spot out Iamzo and Josh Riley on this rotate. A bit brutal here for Josh and Zoe because they were hoping to just skirt by unnoticed.
Yeah, that's preparation at its finest. I'm honestly thinking for them to look up. We got that point of view of Josh and Iamzo looking the launch pad, and as I'm thinking it, they immediately know it, and that goes to show they prepared for this moment. You don't just qualify for the Summit LAN and do everything the same it takes to get here. You have to one-up even yourself in a competition this big, and that's why you see more and more teams trying to rotate to the zone early, which leaves a lot of freedom inside of the zone, and that's why a team like Scare and Osid will be able to benefit from this position.
Yeah, also Scare Osid, I mean, they have Shadow Virgo directly south of them, and having them already been taken out of the match, they have a bit more freedom on this rotate, considering the zone is pulling more towards Dark Dominion. They don't have to make a long rotate. They have a bit of time to get extra mats, extra loot, and prepare themselves for that endgame.
Muzz and Sphinx, that little bit of a hiccup in the early game has not seemed to deter them too heavily. Loadout's decent. Fully aware of the fact there is Surge Base just up ahead. Whether or not they know that it belongs to Nebs and Nathan, it's easy to make that kind of estimated guess, but more importantly, Muzz and Sphinx are not a duo that we would have ever anticipated to even be in this position to begin with, and even now, Jacob, 4 points only at the halfway measure.
Yeah, just one elimination. Haven't been able to make it in the top 25, but hey, as this format permits, sometimes it's just one game, one victory royale. They're going for a little bit of a lurk onto Nathan and Nebs, but they do get spotted out. Nebs catches a couple of shots onto Muzz, forcing him back down the side of the mountain, which is honestly, in terms of rotation, isn't necessarily a bad thing for Muzz and Sphinx. They can go around the southern end.
I mean, good news for Muzz and Sphinx, though. Despite having low points, all you need is a VR. If you get that win, it will automatically qualify you to Sunday, so they've got 3 more chances. I mean, we'll see if they can make it happen. Quick replay onto what happened to King and Phaser. Not looking too hot.
They just fell into the classic Venus flytrap of Pigs and Ghosts. These two love waiting around by Toy Box Docks for teams that are specifically hoping to play for the reboot. You think, I'm so deep in the storm, there's no way anyone else is going to still be out here, and then there's Pigs and Ghosts to do it.
I love this duo, because if you think back when they were starting it off on EU, we had Ghost playing with Tayson, Pigs playing with Merstash. I mean, legendary names in the EU region. Didn't work out for them, so they kind of had that last-minute synergy built, and, you know, now they're looking quite strong here in the lower bracket, so hopefully we can see a big match from them.
And Pix, have to remember, he's already watched his former trio mates, Darman, Deemish, make it through, and not only that, but first place on day 1 overall. So when you pair that sort of ambition with the Ghost, I think that you can definitely anticipate those two to continue moving their way up on that leaderboard.
Yeah, I see Night and Gone right now. They just outside of Sus Studios. You can tell just by the loot they have on the ground, and even more so in their inventory.
C'est pas mal
top as they could out of that mending machine. And you guys all know there's only a certain amount of actual med kits and heals and even usages for those recharges in those mending machines. They went ahead, grabbed all that extra, moved it to the line of the zone. So that way, when it continues to pull further, moving into that 5-tick, they have more time and space to work with.
See another team that fell short in the upper bracket yesterday by only, what, a few points. 1 elimination is what they needed. Avi and Aminish. On the other side, we've got Alex Reckless representing OCE, now with 566 above Surge. They don't need a fight here. They just need to not get cracked.
Fortunately, they do have so much surge, like you just called out, Takada, that they can just take a moment to try and breathe. But Alex shut down. One of the most difficult aspects of making it a little bit later to that edge of zone is trying to avoid those shots from the players that have already situated themselves, along with other teams that are also a little bit late to that extension point. But Reckless now gonna have to do what he can. 2 Chug Jugs though to work with, so he'll at least be able to take things out for a bit. But that big buffer zone that they built up of the surge threshold just disappearing so quickly.
And they're not the only ones going through struggles, though. You see on the other side, Clix and Higgs below the damage threshold again. They don't really get to play out the game in which they wanted to. Time and time again, when you're below, you kind of have to force whatever situation presents itself. Clix and Higgs jumping on the eye drop and Marius. It's now or never. They need damage, not necessarily the eliminations, but you could take what you can get. Now out of heals, Higgs on a timer here. 25 damage, one more tick. He goes in trying to sacrifice himself for damage. A much needed one for Clix. He disengages. This was not a win for them, but instead a win for Marius and iDrop.
Left alone as a solo, quickly falls short. As Clix and Higgs once again continuing to try and find what they can do. Good news. I mean, halfway through the tournament, I can see them coming through from a VR, but through points and consistency, it's going to be tough.
You say that, but Takada, I'm so sorry to have to cut you short on that, because all I'm thinking about right now is probably the same thing Clix is thinking about. 2023. He was in the lower bracket, and he didn't make it out. And yes, I understand there's 3 games left to work with as Zoe finds himself exiting this lobby with Josh, but Takada, it is difficult to overcome some of the mental battles here.
And I was talking to Lev and Vivid, they think if anyone's going to be able to win a game, it's going to be Clix and Higgs, but it hasn't been looking good to kick things off. Velo, one of 3 players to have not made a major finals, but qualified to a LAN. Let's see what you're capable of.
Yeah, and honestly, the last divisional finals in NA Central, by the way, it was Velo, Zynox, player not here, that took on Peterbot and Poyo. And depending on how you look at it, 3-1, 3-2, they took the fight to them. And now you can kind of feel that even if they make it through into the finals, are they going to back down? I don't think that's going to be the case.
Definitely not, as Kurama, Akira, they've been playing through from that north side of Battlewood Boulevard. Good amount of points already built up on the day for their leaderboard position, but what they've got to do right now is try to prevent the rest of the duo, or the rest of the lobby, from collapsing in on them. Mr. Savage and Velo, though, checking back in with these 2. We have seen them transition into top 5 performances when they make it to the end game. But it's one thing to have zones in your favor, it's another to actually have the moving zones go your way.
Yeah, luckily for them though, 400 above the damage threshold. Takes a quick shot there, but they reunite together in the same box. Pizza's being dropped. They're going to heal up to give themselves a fighting chance as we continue to rotate over from Sus Studios towards the edge of Battlewood Boulevard. And that's where you see Chap and Flixie. They're just waiting for that perfect moment. The zone is moving slower on their side versus on the north, so they have much better timing here.
Good news is they're also on the uncongested side, but they can't take too long. If they wait, if they struggle, if they stagger, those teams that got in ahead are going to look back and take their shots just like Ju and Padilla.
Interesting that they opted to go one after the other though, but Ju, Padilla, every time that these guys are on screen, you can expect the heart of Germany to follow with it. Now it's all about ensuring that they stay together in some of these endgame moments. Nebs, Nathan though, what a great position, trying to see if they can take over a height. More importantly still, when they actually make their move towards front side, they want to be able to stop anybody else from challenging them while they go forward.
302 above the damage threshold. Only 7 players need to go down. Storm Surge will no longer be a worry. They're just building up. They're solidifying the high ground, but Scare out of nowhere, trying to give a little bit of a jump scare to Nebs, but he's able to deal with that problem quickly. No time loss, only a little bit of heals.
Nebs did not get frightened. Velo in the feed though has gone down. Mr. Savage is now left as a solo. Good news is he still has a bit of mats. He's still got a chug as he gets on ahead. He just has to be careful that he doesn't get caught in the den of a duo.
Savage is one of the most wiggly players, though, when it comes to a solo's environment, and he'll be able to at least restore back to 200 HP. I drop on the other end. Great elimination there onto Golden. So much time has just been bought because of that refresh. Now he'll have to start moving his way forward. Backside of the zone, but Lucy and Tangy there, but Savage still popping off. Craze has been claimed. Visuals knows that the spoilerino is taking place and he's the leave his duo behind.
Yeah, Mr. Savage realizing, hey, I don't want to let this one go for free. That's a good amount of loot that I need access to, and you can see him watching out each corner until he finally solidifies that elimination. And now he's a little bit more stacked than he was before, giving himself a little bit more of a chance. Top 21 situation here. As a solo, this is a daunting experience, but if you're able to stay alive, you can steal away points from players all around.
It's now or never, Savage. You started this endgame with 4 points, already almost at 30. This clutch means everything is due in a similar situation. Takes out Gone. Second elimination racked up, but he is running low on mats.
And there are so many players still surrounding him. You can expect that there's a lot of paranoia following suit. But for Lucy and Zangy, as scuffed as they had looked originally, they've managed to work their way up onto height, but the material count is just so low. They're gonna have to drop overdrive grenade, trying to see if they can remain towards that front side. But a big surprise! The elimination onto Jardu delivers the exact kind of material count they need to keep things on the high ground.
It's King, it's Craze. They want an invitation to this party, or they're gonna crash it themselves. Onto the high ground they go. It's not just them, but Lucy Zangy, Hobby and Minish. There's so many players down below realizing this could be my chance. High ground wins games, and we want to go to the finals.
Ju continuing to move on forward. You have to be careful though. Only 4 builds, 1 big shot is what it's going to take. No more materials left to work with. You have to be careful. It is a full duo. You've got the pressure from above. You got the pressure from below. What are you going to do?
Ju just narrowly managing to avoid being eliminated himself, but now stuck. He might be able to pick up the pieces, though. Epic Whale is fallen, but Ju doesn't have any sight that is the teams in front of him. Osid's gonna close off the wall, and Ju will find himself at his ends meet. But Damo now going upwards. Momsy Skyjump clearing out the low ground best they can.
Only 2 solos left in this game in a world full of duos. Kazi down below, he lost Damo. Chaps fully eliminated out of this game, and we're down to our final 2. Lucy and Zangy, they're the ones down below. Moments ago, they lost their high ground to King and Craze, and they're ready to take more than just that. King and Craze, first Elim, that one's easy. Second one, that's a wrap. Another 10 elimination game.
What are we witnessing from above? They made it look easy, playing it by the book. You can see little shoulder movement, sweating off the players. What a clean cleanup.
Guys, congratulations. Kingaling, did you know you had it in you to get a victory royale today?
Obviously.
Obviously? What about yourself?
Man, I was made for this game.
It looks like you were, but you had to go through the lower bracket in order to do it. This morning, what was the game plan? Was it always like, full send it every single game? If we go out fighting.
I always play everything by ear. I mean, whatever comes my way, I just fight it. I treat it like a div cup.
You guys went for height quite aggressively, and everyone wanted high ground in this game. What was the strategy? When did you know the time was right to strike?
Craze is just the best IGO to touch this game. He knows exactly when to take it.
He knows exactly when to take it. Craze, where does that come from?
I mean, I got the best creative player in the world on my team. We're just going to play Zone Wars.
You're going to play Zone Wars? Are you going to be playing Zone Wars tomorrow on Championship Sunday?
Every single game.
Every single game. These guys are just going to have an absolute blast. Please, Düsseldorf, give it up for Craze and Kingaling! We're going to head to a break. When we come back, we'll be talking about the first 3 games.
Bon, grosse pause en 2 minutes. Attends, c'est quoi ce clip-là? Attends, mais c'est quoi ce clip-là? En gros. Fuck, j'ai une annonce. Et là, il y a Kurama qui est en live.
Faites la pause. Kit Kat.
I didn't catch your name.
I didn't give it. Bond is immature and reckless. Thrill-seeking. Issues with authority.
Do you mind telling me why I'm here?
I want to make you a spy.
009 is a master manipulator. Whatever his endgame is, we won't see it come.
Ça c'est les Worlds. Ils mettent du monde qui étaient même pas en game. Ah, ça c'est qui le Metaco?
Hey, Rapid.
Fortnite fan, welcome back to the FNCS Summit. Game 3 goes the way of Kingling and Craze. Yet another duo to find a victory royale when they needed it, right? And now everyone else is kind of thinking, man, that's one less duo in the lobby. We're now game 3, we're halfway. Things get that much more difficult. We are now kind of in the halfway point, so we've given the players a moment. They've kind of gone back. They're going to have time to review, to talk to their coaches, amongst themselves, their families, loved ones, whatever they need to. Because then when they return, they have to make something happen in 3 games.
Yeah, obviously kind of the spotlight right now for us, Kingling and Craze, a duo that doesn't have to change anything, doesn't have to actually return to the stage at all, right? They're done for the day going into tomorrow. I gotta say, the conversation that we kind of had with them, and I really, really liked, because it seemed so obvious for both of them to talk about their respective duos and their respective roles. Like, Craze was like, yeah, man, I mean, I kind of just like play like I have the best creative warrior in the game on my team, and yeah, he's right. I mean, Kingling is known for being very, very good and creative, and then Kingling on the other side is like, dude, I got the best IGL in the game on my team. I'm just gonna follow his calls. It's easy.
Yeah, it's the perfect complexion, and sometimes it can be difficult for these sort of creative warriors, players that are really, really strong and creative, to actually carry that over into Battle Royale. And this right here was absolutely beautiful from Craze. The 2v1 was fantastic there, Vivid.
I gotta say though, you know, Craze is kind of talking up Kingling being the creative warrior there. Did you see that elim distribution? Craze ended the game with 7 and Kingling had 2, so I don't know, they might have the roles mixed up.
Maybe. I mean, it's nice for them, though. It's good to see, of course, that was a low bracket only team, so they had to do it today. And I think it's nice to see there's confidence as well from some of these teams to start taking high. For me, we're going to see more of this now for the rest of these games. Those shockwaves, those fizz grenades at the back of zone are going to be so important, Vivid.
They're so good. I gotta say, so far, lower bracket has delivered on multiple fronts. I feel like the regional just breakdown that we've had over the course of the 3 games, we've had a different region win every single one of these games. Obviously, we kind of started out with EU, we went to Brazil, and then now we have an NAC team winning, man. We're getting it all.
We really are, right? Fortnite always delivers. These players are really putting on an amazing show for us. We have a listen from this last game from Kingling and Craze, so let's take a listen.
Here, come look at it with me. Come look at it. When I edit, I'm gonna edit when they shock. Yeah. 30, 50. Okay, nice.
Trigger. Dead. Okay.
Nice. Grab it. Okay, yeah.
That guy.
30, 60, 90.
81.
90 white. 30, 80 crack.
Crack that guy.
30 white, 30, 6 white. Dead.
Dead.
Here, high is nothing. They're jumping in.
I'm going up.
Yeah, go.
Right. 20 white.
Nice. 30 white, dead.
Nice, good shit. Dead.
Nice. 40. Come on now.
Great stuff from them, right? Big smiles from both duos, man. Just to think, oh wow, halfway point, we get the victory royale. I don't have to think about lower bracket now. All I have to do is think about tomorrow's finals. Of course, coming back tomorrow, it's going to be a little different, right? We still have 3 more games to figure out VRs and top 19, and then we also have the top 25 for bracket. A lot to figure out for many of these duos, but let's turn attention to these standings. We got to see how things are going in the lobby right now. Agers and Ritual, they're holding it down. They're leading the pack right now.
Yeah, nice to see from Agers and Ritual. You'd like to imagine that they've pretty much done enough here, right, to qualify on through. So it's going to be really interesting to see how they actually navigate the rest of these games. My focus here is on 4th place, Zangi and Belusi, an EU team that are moving up in the standings here, as well as moving up in the rankings in terms of EU prowess. We know about these guys on EU. We know they've come through. They've had a little bit of a rocky performance on both ends, coming together, and now, of course, performing well on the big LAN stage. Excited to see if those guys can maintain that position, because they're a team that I want to see in the grand finals.
I'm happy that you're kind of talking about teams that have surely already done it. I went ahead and I took a look at the upper bracket yesterday. I was curious, right? Because remember, that sweet spot throughout the day is going to be top 19. So I was like, oh, what did you have to get? How many points-wise did you have to get to be top 19 yesterday? It was 134.
Okay.
So, you know what I mean? Something for us to kind of think about as these games continue on.
Okay, maybe some of these teams might even look and say, hey, Viv, I know that number looks good, but we got to up that, right? We're playing for a ton of prize money, $1.3 million tomorrow, and shot to auto-qualify through the Global Champions. It's so crazy as well, but so many players performed super well in that last game. You know, dude, it's coming down to the wire, Viv. You know, 3 games left to go. My stress is just through the roof.
Absolutely. I know one of the duos that I feel like every single time they're on the screen, actually I know for a fact every single time that they're on the screen, I don't even have to look at the screen to know that they're on the screen, because the crowd lets me know.
Yep.
Of course, it's going to be Vadil and Ju.
Yeah, Vadil and Ju, a crowd fan favorite here in Dusseldorf, and for good reason. They're a fantastic team, as well as, of course, being German. We saw Vadil solo clutching so many points. I think it was game number 1, and he did that during that second chance at qualifying, that last chance qualify for the grand finals in Major 1, and he couldn't quite find the victory royale. Of course, going down here in this game left it all up to Ju, and I mean, this is a team that have done so much already today. Of course, Ju doing fantastically well getting inside that box. Nice to see that Ju can also solo clutch as well.
I can't lie, though. I specifically remember the interview that we had at the start of the day between Vadil and Ju. I remember Vadil saying, listen, I'm looking over towards Ju. I know this guy's going to carry me through. And as you can see, the solo clutch right here, going to be picking up enough points to go ahead and do just that. I think they ended right there with 114 points. So if we use that kind of metric from yesterday as an idea of where we need to be, only 20 more points for Vadil, and we'll see him in finals.
It's not terrible, right? 3 games to try and get 20 points. Again, that's if that 134 stays the way that it is. But even still, you can't get comfortable, right? Like, you have to keep pushing, because anything could happen. And even just think, Viv, we could get a player in the top 19 that suddenly gets a victory out, pulls the whole leaderboard up, and maybe you were outside, but you were thinking, oh no, I'm not in. Wait, I'm in suddenly, right? Like, this will come down to the final game to kind of see how everything ends up happening.
Yeah, I mean, tracking the points when we do have these types of formats is super, super difficult, because those points kind of disappear from the leaderboard once one of these teams win, right? That was a point that Mini was kind of making earlier, that, yeah, if any of these top teams do go ahead and pick up a win, they're gone. All of those points kind of disappear, and it kind of change up the threshold. As it currently stands right now, though, Mini top 19 looks like it's 64 points.
Yeah, it's getting close, though, isn't it? I mean, looking at Sato, Podesai right there, Momsy and Skyjump, another French team way up in the standings 35. Right here. 35 places up. I'm sure a lot of the French fans in here will be very happy to see that. It all comes down to one individual game, you know? It's like, yeah, we talk about getting a win and you're into the grand finals, but what one game can do, even just taking high early on, if you don't hold it for the rest of the game, all those placement points that you're getting into the later stage of that game, even if you don't win, it's still going to be a really good benefit for you, because you can move your way into that top 19 like we've seen those guys do. So even if you don't win here, you have to sort of think about, are we going to be a win team? Are we going to be a team that's going to try and take high, give it up a little bit, but claim those placements, and then try and get in through consistency?
And even if we're kind of one of these teams outside of that top 19, maybe we're thinking, hey, that win might even be enough. I don't even need to be top 50. It doesn't matter, because even if you have 0 points, you get the win and you're in, Vivid. So literally so many very fluid ways to try and make it to tomorrow's finals.
Absolutely. And yeah, I feel like I like the point that you kind of brought up about the high ground. You being able to hold it the entirety of the game, you do pick up enough points to kind of justify it. Right now, the winning formula does appear to be coming from the high ground almost exclusively. With this break happening right now and team strategizing, I'll be curious to see if high ground changes up at all.
Interesting stuff here. I'm getting word. This being the halfway point, we got to check in with our team in first place. Agers and Ritual. Frankie is standing by with them now.
I am standing by with them. Guys, you're on an absolute tear today, leading the lobby in damage, currently sitting #1 in consistency on our leaderboard. Is it due to the fact that Reet and Cooper qualified yesterday and they're no longer contesting you?
Well, I was a little sick yesterday, so I don't think I was playing the best, but now that we're on con, games are pretty easy for us.
Has Ritual been nursing you back to health?
No, yeah, he's been open a lot for sure. He's been carrying the load.
I can imagine. Ritual, what's it like now, feeling refreshed, feeling healthy, and knowing you had the motivation of making tomorrow?
I mean, it feels great. It's not the route we wanted to take to get to the finals, but we got to go through it, and we'll pull through tomorrow.
It's great to see you guys showing up the consistency we know you on for when you're playing back in North America. What's interesting to me is the teams that are getting through, they tend to be contesting for high ground. I don't feel like we're seeing that as much from you at the moment. What's your plan? What's your preference?
You know, if we have the fizz bombs, we'll go high, but we tend to like mid ground and low ground. You know, I've always played that through my years of playing, so that's like home to me.
Well, you look at home. Is the aim, though, to actually get that victory royale, or do you prefer the safety of knowing you're going to qualify through consistency?
I think we're going to just play the games out, not focus too much on the win, and just try to fight all the teams that we can.
Well, you're looking really comfortable, #1 of 19 for consistency at the moment, but say tomorrow you're facing that off-spawn battle against Reet and Cooper again. What's going to happen?
I mean, yesterday was 3-1. And, you know, we're both under the weather, so if we're both max health, we'll probably be 6-0, 8-0 tomorrow.
Somebody get these boys some vitamin C, because it looks very likely we're going to see that off-spawn battle tomorrow, and we want to see the best fight possible. Let's head back to the desk.
Thank you so much, Frankie. Obviously, you know, hoping that they recover very quickly. They can wake up feeling refreshed tomorrow for those finals, but they are currently in that #1 spot in consistency, right? I think that's a great way to kind of view it is I'm out in front. We'll play the games out the way they are. We don't necessarily need a win, and for them, this is even a good chance to get practice in.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm so jealous, Minnie, because, you know, we're interviewing all of these players throughout the weekend. They all seem so confident. Like, we're talking to Ages right there, and, you know, it's kind of talking about the quality of the games in the lower bracket. He's like, well, since we're uncontested, the games are just easy for us.
Yeah,
like, wow.
It makes a difference, doesn't it? It helps them, and you can see what they can do now when they are uncontested. But like Frankie was alluding to right there, if they do, of course, qualify through, which they pretty much are now already, it's going to be a difficult off-spawn battle for them. They're, of course, very confident, 8-0, we're going to win easily, but think back to yesterday, wasn't quite as smooth for them as they would have hoped. So I think they're going to have to use a lot of that experience to their advantage, and even the fact that now they're not going to know what tomorrow even looks like in terms of who's going to be around them. So I think they, of course, missed out on an opportunity there yesterday in qualifying through.
I'm going to take a quick moment right here, because we were kind of watching that interview, and it's so funny to me because, you know, we've talked a lot about qualified through finals, and one of those players, of course, is Acorn. We started the show, and Acorn was kind of in the back of the interviews, making all these funny faces, everything like that. The guy hasn't moved. Like, we just did that interview right there with Ritual and Agers, and he was still sat down, seemingly reviewing games and everything like that. So a quick little sneak peek into the practice room I saw right there from Acorn. I'm a little worried for everybody playing tomorrow.
Well, Viv, what's funny is we can actually see if Acorn is still there, because Frankie is standing by with Shadow and Burka.
I am, and these guys are discussing what happened in the last game, because apparently, Shadow, you graced it.